Okay, so my name is Joy Naya Chika, and I'm a student, a graduate student at the University of Ibadan. My major is French language translation. I'm also a French language tutor. I'm also a translator. I'm an affiliate marketer, and most importantly to me, I'm a Christian.
My name is Baba. I major in sociology, and I'm basically a student. But I'm not related to Kiari.
Okay, hello, I'm Jasmine, your Igbo-looking but Yoruba girl. I'm a public health postgrad student of Lead City, and I think that's all.
Okay, my name is Demioluwa Lutuetesi. I am a linguist by profession and a writer.
Okay, so straight into it. Who would you call a feminist? I'll edit my voice out, don't bother. Who would you call a feminist?
Who's going first?
Anyone. There's no order for anything.
I mean, generally, from scratch, feminism is just about women standing up for what they feel they were denied or were denied and trying to fight back with the other gender.
The other gender.
The male gender.
Okay. So, does anyone have anything else to
Is
say?
it really a fight back?
I would call it a fight back. It's just like a response to an action that's gone on for a very long time. It's like if somebody throws something at you, you feel inclined to throw something back, kind of thing. A way like a response, kind of way.
Okay. Well, from what I know about feminism, historically speaking, like in society, women were not exactly allowed to do some things. That's the historical context. Even women themselves even accepted that. To be fair to everybody, women themselves accepted that at a point. So it's just a few women that could dare to do things, and most times they always do it alongside a man. So let's fast forward into the 17th century time also. That was when some women were they wanted voting rights. They also wanted to go beyond just taking care of the house, the children, and they also wanted to participate in what goes on in the society. So I think then men are still fighting for voting rights. Let's be able to vote. Then the thing metamorphosed into women wanting to be in they don't just want to be part of the people that elect people in the decision-making process. They wanted to be part of the society too, the important part of the society. So that was where we now saw writers like Simone de Beauvoir and so on. They started coming up and saying, okay, they started writing, they started using the pen to write, and even sometimes they tackled some of these other women too, some of these other women that even agreed with the masculinity in the society then. So they wanted more. Then fast forward to 19th century, 20th century, even 21st century, and I'm seeing different dimensions of feminism. So to me, feminism is just women just wanting to be important in the society. However, I would say that women had always been important in the society. So I don't think women should need the concept of feminism to validate their importance in the society. Because if you are that important, you were seen as somebody that could take care of, they could entrust family to you and all that. And for the fact that you fought for your voting rights and then you fought for voting rights and then they gave it to you, it means they also entrusted the fact that you could be a good thinker too. Even at that point when they were doing the voting rights thing, it was not yet tagged feminism. It was when Simone de Beauvoir, then this other lady, I've forgotten her name, she's an English feminist too. It was then that they now tagged it the feminist movement. So I don't know if I'm talking too much, but okay, coming down to Africa here now. In Africa, actually, Africa is quite a bit different from the European setting. Okay, so in the African setting here, women were kind of accorded some, very big powers actually, especially if you go to some part of Delta states, then the pre-colonial period, even down here in the Southwest, they gave women really great importance. You see it in some of these writings of Achebe and so on, you see it there. And it was because of the colonialist thing coming in that we now see that, okay, because the European setting wanted women, their own is women are background people. So they brought that ideology. In Africa, Africa, before, nobody really cared whether, as long as you could do the work, nobody actually cared, as long as you get things done. But they brought the mentality, and then that's where the women's segregation came forth, and then the colonialists in their activities, they kind of favored men more, and that was how the whole women being kind of segregated in the African society were more important. In Africa, women's role went beyond having children, actually went beyond that. Most of them had spiritual importance, most of them even had political importance. You could see the likes of Moremi, Queen Idia, and in fact in the that side they call the Anioma in Delta State, women form the part of their ruling council.
So that's fine. I feel the guy should have something to say too.
Basically, actually, all what she has said as is actually historically accurate. That's been known over time that before even the Europeans came, that women had their rights and they participated positively in the society. They participated in politics, economics, and making very important. They made very important decisions in politics, especially. For example, they were into poetry when it comes to the economic aspect of they were into poetry. They were into making of this maths, sewing, and other very, very important aspects of the economy. Then they were essential to the economic system. But due to colonialism now, the advent of the Europeans and their way of living, they have totally two different cultures. The Europeans had a totally different culture from the Africans. Then, in the African society, it wasn't the whole feminist idea. There was never a social construct around it. There was no human construct. Anybody could do anything. As long as you can do it, then you are allowed to do it.
Okay.
Although there were some traditional, there were some cultural beliefs and other things that were guiding women and men in the society. But it wasn't really.
I know you want to say something. Would you call yourself a feminist, or would you identify as a feminist?
Okay.
I want us to start from there again.
What about again?
No, just give your reason straight to the point. Why?
That's not by again.
Eh?
You know what, why don't let's continue. His own was recorded, right?
No.
Then why don't we start from him? Ours was recorded, right?
No.
Holy shit.
Just go straight to the point. Time is reading already. Just say yes, but you don't maybe share.
Yes, but yes.
Yes, but
I have to cut my own voice out now. So. Would you call yourself a feminist?
Are you starting with me again?
Yes. Since you're the first person
Okay.
to start. Or do you want
I
to
know
rest?
I can start. I should respond now, or you want to ask the question again? I want to be sure.
Would you call yourself a feminist?
Yes, but yes, exactly. I identify with the first wave feminist and second wave feminist, what they stood for. But the modern feminism has some aspects that seem a little selfish and self-centered in some aspects. But also there are some aspects of feminism that I actually fight for, because I'm a public health student, so there are some things an aspect of public health which is about gender-based violence and sexual harassment, and so a lot of things that I feel like people don't touch enough about it, because men tend to not understand what we go through. So, like I said, some aspects I agree with and some aspects I do not. So, I would still say I'm a feminist, but yes, but
Yes.
Let me go to your right. Tessie, would you identify as a feminist? Would you call yourself a feminist?
No, I won't call myself a feminist in any
Why?
form. Many reasons actually. Similar to what she's saying, but I feel like feminism has gone far away from what feminism used to be. Growing up, I used to call myself a feminist here and what, and I strongly identified with the message then, but right now I just feel like there are a lot of things that have been added into the mix that I don't exactly agree with. For me, feminism is about equality. It's about fighting for equality. And if it is not equal, if you are fighting for a way to be above, then it's no longer feminism. So I want to identify myself as a feminist in any circle for now.
Okay.
Okay.
Nice. Abba.
I think one of the major things why most people shy away from the whole concept of feminism is because of the stigmatization and the whole idea of what modern feminists now do. Exactly. There's this negative idea or perspective towards feminists. So most people are actually afraid to identify with something like that. Like, okay, I'm not. But most times, I think at the end of the day, we are all fighting for equality. We are all fighting to be seen. We are all fighting to be represented in the society. So I feel we are all feminists to some extent.
Yes,
we are all feminists. Exactly.
Yes.
Even people with disabilities too. There are people fighting for them too. Just because there is no name on it, there is no this umbrella is not on it. That okay, there is no name like
but there are some people that just naturally do not have an affinity to what. So someone that just does not like to see a woman superior to them or a woman. I know that's feminist, man. I know my point. He said that we are all feminists. I know a particular man. He hates the idea of having a female boss. Not because he just doesn't like seeing the idea of a female boss. So what we use to that person is just naturally a feminist.
Nah, it's a misogynist.
That's my point. That's there are people that just have
at the end of the day, you're feminist.
Because not everybody that likes the idea of.
Okay, let me come on.
That is because feminism has taken a very negative.
Okay, no, not even in that. I'm talking about even years before, even before the modern feminists. There are still some people that have mindsets. I
Okay, we just feel women
80-year-old men, 90-year-old men that have this
should be
picture that
under.
I know a particular one that does not believe his wife, his child should have an education beyond a BSc. Does not believe that women should have that. We not say, oh my God, we are all feminists. That's how that aspect.
Okay, let me say this. Okay, let me answer my own question from what he said. He said everybody is a feminist, right? But I would say yes, majority are feminists.
Exactly.
Because right now there is hardly any man you see that has any woman that doesn't have any woman related to him in such a way, in any way. Hardly will you see a man that doesn't even have a woman he cares about in his life, except the person is a misogynist and a monster. Yeah. So I think what we should be saying is we should all be feminists, just like Chimamanda said.
Exactly. We should all be.
Now, as for me, am I a feminist? I will start from this. We have different. See, feminism is very multifaceted.
Exactly.
Right? Very multifaceted. There is liberal feminism. There is radical feminism. There is religious feminism. There is ecofeminism. A lot of this. There is postmodern feminism. There is post-colonial feminism. So now, a lot of people have seen the first wave, the mistakes that were there, and then from there, people started bringing out their own. We even have Marxist feminists.
Yes.
We have Marxist socialist feminists now. So we have different forms of feminism right now in the world. So, and let me tell you something. There is no woman that is going to say she's not a feminist because one way or the other, she cares about one particular phase of feminism. We have the separatist feminists too. You get? For a separatist feminist, she feels a man doesn't have any positive thing to contribute in her life. I think that's the element of what we see down here in Nigeria. A postmodern feminist feels, you know what, let women express yourself. Like you want to be a man as a woman, go ahead. You want to hug trees as a woman, be my guest. Like that's what a postmodernist feminism do. A religious feminist wants to, as a theological feminist, wants to look at a woman's position in relationship with the religion. And ecofeminist is looking at, what are you doing to a woman that is affecting the environment? As a woman, let me fight for the environment. They see some things that are feminine in the environment and they feel, let me protect it, it's tender, and all those kind of things. They are more sympathetic towards the environment. We have the liberal one, they feel anything goes. We have the humanists. This is a form of feminism. Humanists started from black feminism, right? Black feminism, they felt, black women, especially in the US, felt that white women cannot relate. They can't relate to what I'm going through. Now there was the black feminism there, right? That's where we see I've forgotten her name, C. Walker and so on. They were part of this movement. C.J. Walker. Now, out of that black feminist movement, another one popped up. The womanist ideology is a part of feminism and bringing it down here to Africa. Like that's what we see majorly here in Africa. Most women in Africa here, they want to get married, they want to have families, but they still want to be that woman in the society that is up there. You would classify it as a womanist theory. That is what the person is practicing. A woman is now, our own concern is, you know what, you people in the black society, you can't relate to what I'm going through. In Africa, yeah, being a mother is important. It might not be important to people over there, but to me here, it's important. So that is so every woman, including myself, you are fighting for rights, you want to go to school and all that. It falls under a particular part of feminism. So even our fathers, those ones, even the 80-year-old man that is saying he doesn't believe his daughter should go beyond BSc level, that is his own mentality. But looking at it deeply, critically, from a theory, judging it to a theory, you know that man has a feminist theory that he's following. He wants his daughter to get an education. So he is a feminist one way or the other. Anyhow you look at it, he is a feminist.
Interesting.
So you can't tell the man that he will not be a misogynist if he tells his daughter, girl, you sit at home, you are not even going to a primary school, secondary school. Now, even people in this present day, they don't exist. Even people that tell I want to make a distinction now. Even people that tell their daughters, no, don't go anywhere, sit at home. One way or the other, the girl, at the end of the day, two things will happen. It's either she goes and learn a trade or something, which one of the things that will push her out is her dad telling her, what are you doing in the house? Putting Chelsea in room. Sorry for those that don't understand. You're already feeding off of me too much. Go get something for yourself. Now the girl will be pushed to go and fend for herself. And in most cases, because of it, her father realizes that as a woman, you can't be useless for me. Yeah, her father realizes it. Her father knows it. But just that father is stuck to some kind of archaic mentality, which that is the father's problem. But looking at it, the father wants the good for the daughter, meaning you are a feminist, Mr. Man.
But there are still some that will have children. Tell the daughter that, okay, you are born, no school, then take her to marriage. She's not working, they just have this thought that give birth, procreate, and expand.
And take her to marriage.
So that taking her to marriage is a form of feminism or what?
Thank you.
I will give it as a form of feminism.
Because what you want your daughter to do at that point is to go and become a woman of her own, even though it is in another man's house.
So, John, we'll come back to that. Let me hear Iyami's answer. If he identifies as a feminist or not, the present day.
The present day.
I guess Iyami wants answer. So, now, do we even have, let's start from this. I have a question now. Do we have a word for men's right at all?
Do we have
a word like, or a group or a movement for men's rights?
Okay, there is movement for men's rights.
Yeah.
It doesn't necessarily have a name.
Yes.
Because if you put a name to it, if you put masculinity, or you put masculinism to it, it's going to turn to
a gender war.
It's going to turn to a gender war. One.
Okay.
And
so we can't coexist.
No, this is that what I want to say. I really respect the men in the world for not trying to really push forward. I think what most men are pushing forward now is for the like a revindication of the boy child. You get like a restructuring of the boy child's upbringing. And I respect the men in the world so much for that. The fact that they are not trying to they know the way. I think they are going to understand the way women are. And it's not about the selfishness. We have some very selfish men. I want to see there are some selfish monsters out there. But they can't even use the word patriarchy. They can't even use the word phallocratic to form any movement, because if it turns to that, the world will turn upside down. Yes. So the men understand. In fact, I think the men now understand that women are tired. And I think some men already see it that, man, we've been treating these people as second-class human beings, whether as a result of colonialist ideology or not. You get, they are realizing this. That's why they are even, some of them are even pushing the feminist movement. My own lecturer, she's a professor in the University of Benin, undergraduate days. She blatantly told us that our father is a feminist. In fact, she would literally classify her father as a radical feminist. Like, the fact that she's on the seat today, thanks to her dad. Like, her dad pushed her there. And myself, I would say my dad is a feminist. I would even say my dad is a womanist or something, because I think me doing this program today, my dad is like, you can't sit down in my house and be doing some 9-to-5 job that will pay you well. You have to go get, and then you will call me every day, girl, have you done the exam you say you want to do? What's going on? So these are, so men, men are understanding what they are clamoring for now is that can you train? They now understand that they were deprived when they were young as per upbringing, because the way you bring up a lady is different from the way you bring up a boy, and in such a way most times they've neglected the boys and they've left them on their own, that they focus so much attention in trying to bring up a prim and proper girl. Now you are bringing up a prim and proper girl and you are forgetting tomorrow, because you are in the African society, and that prim and proper girl is going to go and meet a boy that is probably not prim and proper, and it's going to give you issues tomorrow. And then the children from that union start seeing how the unprim and proper boy, unprim and improper boy is treating the prim and proper lady, and then the children will start more like hating men and forming some weird feminist ideology from them. That's what I'm saying, that men are beginning to realize it. I think the last some days ago was Boy Child Day, and I really liked the awareness that was coming up from it. I liked it.
This week?
Yes, this week. I liked the fact that men and women now they now. Okay, no, I'm sorry about that, but I think these people are now men, probably.
When was that? When like 3
that was 2 days ago, yeah. So now most
April what?
so May.
Okay, that should May what?
May 7th. So you want to save it on your calendar? Yeah.
So it's good. At
So
least
because
we know something like that.
Mother's Day.
At least we should know something.
no, Father's Day is coming up next month.
I think so.
Yeah, in June. So the thing is that what I'm saying now is that men are focusing more on how to also bring the boy child up in a prim and proper way. Also censor some of the things they do, the way they censor the girls. Because like it or not, the way most women turn out to be at least something reasonable in the society, morally or any otherwise, is because of the way they were brought up. They instilled value in them from, but the boy, they just like, okay, go and fend for yourself, Mr. Man. Like, literally, I stayed with my auntie, and my auntie would care as per what time her granddaughter came in. And her own son, she would really not care. Her own grandson, she would really not care. She would, anytime.
But even as a woman,
Can
you
I
have to.
proceed?
Sorry.
Can I proceed there?
Okay.
Because I feel sometimes, like you said, men can be evil and they can decide to exploit or do harm women.
Yeah.
And you won't have the same strength or brute force needed to maybe break out of any assault or anything. So, do you ever think of it like they are scared for the girls and feel like if the guy should end up in something, nobody will rape him?
I'm very confused. Can you see that question again?
Does it feel like they are scared for the girls?
Like they are trying to protect them in the sense that if the guy gets assaulted or robbed now, they feel like they just tell him,
you're a man. That's it, you're a man, take heart. Which is wrong. Because men have emotions too. I tell guys around me,
most of the issues stem from instilled ideology.
That's it.
Exactly.
I tell guys around me, push it, tell people.
Ideology.
I tell guys around me, if I'm talking with you and you're getting emotional, Mr. Man, I'll hug you, it's okay to cry. Like, I've seen several times where I encourage you to cry, man, let it out. Listen, you're a man, fine, but you can't be a man keeping this in, because the day the outburst to come up, you are either venting it out
Most
or
times, so the woman.
in short, for this segment now, nobody really knows any group that fights for men's rights. Maybe those that have been.
Let me say what I think you are bringing up. I feel like so far there has not been any cause for there to be men's rights. That's why we don't have it.
because they always have it.
Because men have always had rights. They've always taken their rights by brute force. They've always taken their rights by brute force, even when they are not given. And when they are given, they've always when society has naturally tended towards men, like they've naturally tended towards giving them whatever they want. Even the women in their lives are tended towards giving. You see a mother, and she just wants to satisfy her male son, there's no point. Her son, and you see she's satisfying her husband, she's satisfying her son, and then her daughters are just she's just teaching them okay, you have to become a home builder, you have to be strong, you have to do this, and they don't teach the boy I don't think but the boy just just enjoy yourself, watch TV, be fine, and then I don't understand.
are done.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
I think for now.
Yeah, I don't think I've. Let me just say
just
something.
me for now.
Okay, I don't think I've actually heard anybody say to a boy that a guy that you're about to get married, is that you're supposed to behave in your husband, your wife's house, or you that's when you're married. But as a woman, constantly you sit there particularly. So you're on your legs. So I want to take it to a man's house.
Yeah.
You are in my is a concern. I see my existence in your
I've
head,
heard
man.
Is that how you're
So,
and
you're talking about the man.
Our
So
life.
you do any man's house. Like we're constantly reminded that we're living for men instead of for ourselves.
But thank you.
And men live for themselves. Of course, they take care of women, but at the same time, they have their individuality. But as if we live for them. So if you people fighting for that, it's like unconsciously we find ourselves feeling self-defensive.
Yeah,
So if people can actually understand the mentality, the brainwork, how everything starts from the start, people understand, okay.
Yeah, I think everybody should read should give their girl child this Chimamanda's book, Dear Ijeawele, the Feminist Manifesto. So if you have a little cousin, a little baby cousin, girl, sister, or anything, probably give her the book and let her read it. Dear Ijeawele, a Feminist Manifesto. But please, you are giving it to a little child. Please guide the child on
Exactly.
You get, but yeah. So just
back to what I'm saying now.
Okay. I just started reading it.
So
Hope the book is not too radical.
It's not exactly
It's
radical.
not trying to
Well,
dominate men.
It's not exactly radical,
Okay.
but if I read that book to
So,
me as a kid, I would have
now,
been
back to what I was saying.
More out there.
stricter. No, I wouldn't have hated men. Sorry.
Stricter.
I'm sorry, Chimamanda doesn't tell people to hate men. If you've read her
I'll
books.
cut this part out.
No, I understand.
So now we talked about voting. Yeah.
Yes.
Let's start from the US. I feel they are the most radical and like they are the strongest feminists. Like they've always had. That's what I feel actually.
But which place?
In the present day, like
In the present days.
Who's
In the present day. Who's
the
that?
United
US.
States,
Nah.
I feel like they go crazy,
Nah.
open their tits and
Oh no.
do some
Well,
kind
I
of
won't say US.
extreme-
I give it to Europe. That's what I'm saying. The Western Europe, man. Especially
Let's just call
France.
them
Those guys are
West,
crazy.
the West in general.
Exactly. I don't say Western. Just limiting it to US is
No.
unlikely.
I know more about US history.
Oh, okay.
So, and what I know from there, for women to have the right to vote, was actually men that fought for them.
So
They
that's
are- because if women actually just pioneered the movement alone, they won't have the right to vote.
yeah.
Until later, it was actually men that fought for them, for their rights to different things. And
I
think-
think that is the men that
Can we say that that's
voted
a
for
problem?
this.
No, like the men didn't have enough power to go fight for themselves.
yes, because
Exactly.
that's how
I'm
it was.
saying, when you say it,
But
makes
some
like
men
as if-
saw it
Like
as
it's
a
a
problem.
nice thing they do. Like they
No,
did
I
it.
think
The men that fought for
no,
them
I
did the right
think
thing.
I
I
think
don't
you're
say
saying
no
no.
fought for them or voted for them.
No,
like in the
fought,
council.
they fought,
No,
they fought
fought
for
for
it. Actually,
activism.
I think one of the reasons
It's
was
just like
because of
slavery
those
now,
wars.
just like slavery.
Yes.
There are some white people.
Exactly. You
that
can't
are
just
just-
what would you not say? Oh, why should raise the handshake for being a part of it?
Exactly, that's the point. Like, no. I don't be like, no. They should have any accolades for doing
I
this.
know.
You have to recognize that
No,
because
I understand.
it is part of the history.
Yeah, you have to recognize
No,
it's
that's
part of the
recognize
history, but it's making
You
it
can't
seem
just
like
discard
okay.
it.
Listen, I think
You guys will not feel too good about themselves because without the men, people have gone this far, kind of.
What
No,
I'm
I'm just
what I'm
telling
going
you.
to say
The
is
point
that-
is, they are actually men that care.
Wait, Femi.
Obviously.
No, Femi.
That's really
Obviously.
the point. You should
Wait,
actually
Femi,
be from
Femi,
that.
listen, let me just tell you something. I think one of the problems we have in the world, especially in Africa and in some other parts of the world, one of the major problems is that we tend to get stuck in history. Because for somebody, take it from me, I have been doing this thing, it gets tiring over the years. That's why I'm not really a fan of like the Caribbean ideology and all that, because I'm like, yo, this is 2,000 years plus gone, like over millions of years gone. Can you get over this thing? So the thing is that if it's that men fought for them, I think it's a good
Not
thing.
like it
It's
was only
supposed to be
men,
celebrated, but I
was
don't
a
think it
joint-
undermines
was
the
a-
fact for the men to go out to fight, which means a woman told them,
They saw
"Oh,
something
Alpha."
wrong.
No, not that they saw something wrong actually.
After
A
you
woman
came
had
to them.
influenced it. So
Exactly.
please, you have to give the woman the listen for a battle to be won.
Like that's the issue.
For
I
a
mean, when you
battle-
said it,
for
you
a
said
for
it
a
in the
battle
context
to
that
be
meaning
won,
it's
for a battle to be won, it starts from the chessboard where they are doing that's the war room, that little place. It starts from there. So I think a woman was the person that drafted that shit.
Exactly.
There.
Because
So
in every
that's-
home now, you have a woman. And definitely, they have a very strong influence on all the decisions.
Thank you.
So from that alone, they realize.
No, not everybody does. Not everybody. I know homes where women don't have a say. Literally, they don't get slapped for response.
For saying yeah.
So I disagree with you on that.
Yes,
Not
all of us are lucky
exactly.
to see that kind of thing happen, to see that kind of standard you set in society. Not all of us are that lucky to see it. So, but continue.
So, the point I was trying to make is there are still men that also share the same ideas. They might not help you go to the extreme and go overboard,
Obviously.
but they will still.
They care.
Yes.
Exactly. But once it starts reaching that line that, okay, you start, I don't know, going overboard, I don't want to name anything, then they start pulling back like, should we really
get involved
and always support these things?
Okay.
Get backlash in
Well, I think one of the reasons why it's like that is because men have realized that women can be very manipulative. They've sincerely, over time, women are very, very manipulative. Let's be honest here. Most probably malicious events that took place in history. I'm not even talking of Adam and Eve days and co, because that's what most people would relate to. I'm talking of the Greek Roman Empire, that period, those after dark ages and all that. Women were so manipulative to a fault. So I think when these men begin to fight for these women, they begin to see the fact that the manipulation starts like this. It starts within the women themselves. You start seeing them manipulating each other. The women start manipulating each other. When they start from there, they've already destroyed their own ideology, probably bad-mouthed one, said nonsense about the other person, and they are now fighting in their own camp. And the men sees it. Now, the women too, they at the point when they say, oh, the men are fighting for us, and they start going there to start manipulating things too. Manipulating things so that you can't be the center of the universe. I think women should start realizing that.
I think another issue I don't want to put back, like she mentioned, there are different, within feminist groups, there are different types of them. So one person's ideology will somehow.
It's not with the ideology. At that point, they are common
they are common goal, but you want to vote.
Exactly. That's our common goal. Those ones are political feminists. We want to vote. We want to be able to vote. Now, inside there, because you've seen that, one man is better than you, as per in our positioning with the fight. Oh, after this fight, I think give her one better position. Sorry for those that don't understand PG. They will give her a better position. Okay, Alpha. We don't want. Oh, you are my friend, Abi. You like me. You want me to be there, right? Okay, let's find a way around it. Then the women start to manipulate. I'm not even going to other women having different ideologies in that same ideology. There's so much. I don't think that's a human thing. That is a woman thing. It's a human thing. No, that's a woman thing. It is found. Let me tell you why it is found in women. Let me tell you that why it is found in women.
From common knowledge now.
Yeah.
From common knowledge.
Okay.
We are all talking about leading and championing stuff.
Yes.
Do you actually know the gender that follows the most are actually men?
Follows like?
They follow other men. They give up their life in the military and all
That's
that.
it.
Men are good at following. So as we are advocating for equality, sometimes you'll be at different places. Men don't complain. They have a boss that is maybe treating them bad. They will try to meet up. In the military too, that's even the worst scenario ever. In most countries, just a man will tell you to go somewhere and do something, and they follow. And they have percentage of the military in any country. Just go and check it out. You don't need to dispute that fact. They are men, and they give up their life. They do just terrible jobs. Like in the United States now, men clean sewers.
Yeah.
Men operate oil rigs and stuff. There are places that women don't fight for.
They
We should
don't
not always focus on the good parts now. So when it comes to following, can we now say women and feminists can also advocate for knowing timing and not always trying to be the main piece on the chessboard now? Because it's even sometimes it can even be a threat to you. Because if you are the main piece of the chessboard, you're always a target.
Yeah.
Most guys even realize that, like me, for example, I would never want to be. It's better you are behind the scenes controlling what's happening on the chessboard now than being the main man that you want to nail to the cross if
Yeah.
anything is
Everybody
happening.
is swarming
So,
around you.
do we, like, are feminists or all of us now, do we think we are open to the idea of, okay, actually allowing someone lead and trusting their judgment and only calling them out when you feel they are stepping out of line?
Well,
Like,
Okay, are we saying that women don't follow well? Because I would
we are talking about
strongly
feminism.
are we saying feminists don't follow well? Because I was strongly
They don't
disagree
nowadays, I feel
with
so.
that.
They have
No,
a
because
Because
I'm
strategy.
women have been used to following. Like, I feel like women have always been in the position
Yeah, women
of
have
following.
been used to
Men
follow.
men have always
And
been
even
following
in
right
this
from time.
even in this present time, what most women, I feel like, at least those that are not taking it to the extreme, what most feminists are fighting for is just for a place at the table. Not that they want to be the center of the universe.
Okay,
or the center.
sorry,
I think that
A
is
place at the table where they
whole
can
dimension
speak.
of
Where
it.
they are.
No, I think when it comes
I
to
think-
followership,
Wait, I want her to finish before I move on to someone else. A place at the table.
Yes, where they can
Be
speak. Where
specific.
they
Is
can
it in governance?
in governance, at home, I think in every
just
sector.
want
Even one.
decision.
Okay, I can be
I
represented.
feel-
I can speak when you say something. I can
Yeah.
reply. You
And
I
you
can
can
tell
listen
you
as
this is
a-
what I
and you
feel.
Or I can also
This is what I
contribute to
think.
this
Yes.
Exactly. I
That's
don't
the
feel.
kind of
I don't think
Toxic
feminists
systems
are.
like Nigeria now. Let's now bring
Okay.
it down to our own country.
country.
Do you feel like we all know the system doesn't work and the system is rigged?
Yeah.
So for it to
Okay.
get some points, like get some places,
Yeah.
you have to do some things.
Yeah, I understand.
So now to get a piece of that cake, don't let me say like that, to have a seat at the table.
At the table.
Now,
Yes.
do you feel like it would just be offered on a platter of gold?
No one is asking for
Okay,
you to offer a platter of gold. Just want you to treat the same way you treat somebody else.
Yeah.
I feel
Nobody is asking for
Okay,
okay, just
okay.
throw it at me and
Okay,
just
actually-
from your own friends now, I feel
Okay.
like even people that are here, we treat each other as equals. Don't let's them textbook. Let's really name it. If it's governance, if it's CEOs of companies, board of directors, let's be specific.
Okay.
Analogies will create, not just.
Okay, let me create a certain analogy or a situation now. For instance, in a business setting, and a woman is qualified for a position as much as a man is, you find out that in many situations, the woman will get the role, not because of her qualification, but just because she's a woman, she would have to go for maternity leave, she would have to do this, and she didn't choose to be the ability to do all those things. You understand? Then she might leave the job if something happens at home, if the husband is something.
yeah.
And then just because she is a woman, that is the only man, she didn't choose
There's
being a
some
woman.
instinctive
Just,
setbacks
just
that come.
immediately
Yeah.
like, okay, she can't be in this position, she can't take up this role. And that is what feminists are just trying to fight for.
Like even in some positions, they will say
if
like
I
they want a single.
qualify, let's
person,
have
not
it.
a single
So
lady.
it makes you feel like we
That's
are
If I want it, now there are some positions a woman might not want. And it is not her fault that she doesn't want it. Maybe she thinks I don't have the ability to do that.
do that.
And there are some women that feel yes, I can do it.
Exactly.
And if what I feel feminists want is if I can do it, if I
Then
want
give
it,
me a chance.
let me be able to do it.
What can't I aim higher? Must I select and pick the lower ones? That's
Okay,
the issue.
okay.
But the problem I have is right now there's this, I don't know, anytime there's a job out here, a job recruitment or something, then they will put this specifically female required this thing.
No,
Why
they're
is
trying to,
that
I
style?
think
that's the problem.
I think that is a problem
That's the problem
right now.
feminism was
Okay.
Because the truth is you never find a guy, you never find a job where they are looking for like
Very
specific.
female. Okay.
No, there are actually. I've seen job.
But
Okay,
what they
men
are looking for
only.
men,
Yes, I'm actually
What
saying
type of-
just
they don't-
what type of-
What
I
type?
don't.
Because I don't think I've ever seen it. It is usually very robust.
Those kind of jobs.
No, and they are not
Yeah.
labor.
Oh, they are not labor jobs.
They are not
Actually, I've
labor
seen
jobs.
that.
Yes,
I've seen that.
I've seen.
That may have seen.
They are not labor jobs. I
They
just
are kind of some very bad hazards attached to it.
No.
No.
This was a teaching job. This was a
No.
teaching
The
job.
ones they are the ones that are popular. Okay, please,
Cannot watch.
That's why example.
From the
but the ones I've
followership
seen-
side, you know, when you talked about women don't follow. You
Quote
see,
me correctly. I said, are they open to the
okay,
idea of
are they
following? Because
open
many
to
men follow.
okay, I understand.
Now, they will follow
are
many
they,
men, follow other men into destruction.
But no, are they open to following? Yes and no. Yes, women are open to following when a man is at the forefront. Like, just look at the general statistics just look at the way the world is. Even the country Nigeria is structured, women are followers when a man is at the forefront. But when a woman is there, oh no, women are not followers. You know why? I think last year I was opportune to attend this NCWCS conference, that's the National Society for Women's Conference in Nigeria, and I met when I mean phenomenal women in Africa, like Nigerian women that were #1 in Africa in their different areas. I met the first female president of Nigerian Bar Association. I met the first female professor in Africa. She's a Nigerian. I met the first woman to ever become a professor of computer engineering in Africa. She's a Nigerian. So I met these women, and I met top political figures. I even met some theologians, and all they were telling us, all they were saying in the segment of that conference, and even what a political figure, a man, came to say is that when it comes to following, women will follow men. They would support men when they're in the forefront. But when it comes to a woman following, it's a lie. They would not follow. Now, this woman gave an example. She was part of this Ajimobi's campaign committee then, and she's a full-fledged politician. Now, she buttressed what that man said. She said it is actually true that one of the reasons why they ousted some women out of that committee was because, number one, women were bringing in factors. One thing about men you should understand is that men, when they want to sacrifice, when it comes to leadership, they pour everything down. They will not care that one wife is calling them somewhere. But women, because of our genetic build-up, our emotional build-up, we're like, oh, my husband this, my husband that, my husband this. And at some point, some of the women went ahead to talk about what was being said at that same table that they fought for a position for. They went ahead and stole their husbands. It got out. Some of those women went ahead and, and slept with all the men at the table. Yes, they slept with all the men at the table. Okay. And at the end of the day, they ousted all of them out, and she said she remained the only person there. And she said one thing that made her stay there was because she knew how to balance it. And that's one thing a lot of women don't know how to do. They don't know how to balance it. So when it comes to followership, trust me, that's why I talk about sabotage within the women. A woman can't come out for Nigerian presidency now and women will support her. It's a lie. At least Sarah Jubri's case in the 2015 general election was the answer. Just one vote, and that vote was only from her.
I think this is
coming down to all women jobs. This is the reality. This is what is happening. I'm not talking about, if you want to base on theoretical things, come on, I have a lot of things to prove it that women are followers, this. But women, naturally, we have this jealousy thing inside of us. Men can look at some things and come on, they'll just leave it and forget about it. But women, we tend to do it. That's why even the Bible says Mary kept all these things in her heart. She kept these things inside. So she was brooding. We tend to brood over things a lot. So now, what I'm saying, when it comes to this job of a thing, whether female jobs and all that, now one thing we should realize is that as much as we are, which I feel that equality can never exist, we are all equal in our own rights. Now, as far as I'm concerned, there are jobs where it is better for a woman to stand there, and there are jobs where it is better for a man to stand there. Now, for jobs in the hospitality industry, all of us here, we go for the interview, right? They would consider 3 of us. Trust me, we're all beautiful ladies. They don't really care whether the guys are fine. The only way they would care about the guys at that point is if they notice that probably older women frequent their clubs. Career women, they come, get bored, and just come to their club. They will now start thinking of looking at the guys. But in a place where the male patronage is high, listen, opposite attracts. And for some jobs, listen, you cannot tell me, especially for those that know about the offshore work and all that, you cannot tell me that as a woman,
it is normal, especially an African woman. We can talk about, okay, in generality, globally, it can work in the Western world, but not here. That's why the womanist theory came to be. In Africa here, there is no man that will support his wife. In fact, even the wife's family will not support the wife leaving the house to go to the rig for a month and come back and spend 2 weeks at home. Even the woman, she will want to leave that job because of our emotional build-up, we are sentimental, want to near the man. That is one thing about women. All these things are literally, even these guys theory, this psychoanalytic theory, broke these things down. Sigmund Freud broke this thing down. When you read some of Chimamanda Adichie's book, fine, she's a feminist, but she broke all these things down, and we can understand that the earlier we start understanding the peculiarity between different societies, the better we start knowing the earlier we start knowing what we are fighting for as women. You don't just fight for, there are some jobs that I would not even take up personally. Somebody offered me a job with me. One of the first things I'm like, okay, not that I'm not qualified, but I don't really have enough experience on the job. Most people that I know that have experience on the job are men. I thought, guy, are you interested? And he said, yes, I am. So because as a friend, I was given an opportunity. If a woman can do it, if she says she can do it, give her the opportunity. If she fucks up on the job, tell her, Shebi, we told you. Just tell her like that. Shebi, we told you. But if she does it well, please applaud her. If a woman goes to the most dangerous kind of work, firefighting and all, I was impressed the other day. I saw you at firefighting van, and I saw a woman inside. I'm like, wow, this is progress, right? So if a woman says I can do it and I'm qualified, give her a chance. Let her fuck up on the job or do something bad on the job. Then you come and tell her that, madam, what you did was not okay, or Shebi, we told you. But if she does it and does it well, we see female pilots, we see all this. But the earlier we start understanding the peculiarities in our society, the better for us, so that we know what we are fighting for. As a woman in Africa, fine, you might want to get to the highest. I'm going to give an example and I'll round up from there. There is a story of a family I heard. These people, the woman is a career woman. She's an international HR person. Like, international to the extent that she selects her job. Now, this woman, she was like, she doesn't want to near her kids. She doesn't know anything about her children. She could just get up and say, I want to spend, I want to spend some 40 days abroad or something. Just wake up and move and leave the husbands and the kids. Now, the lady that is telling me the story happens to work for them, and she said something. She said, the husband called her one day and said, okay, what's your plan? Tell me about your plan as a young woman. When she outlined everything, the advice the man gave her, please let's not forget, we are Africans here. Always putting that African factor. We have our society. We are not like the Europeans. The woman can get away with anything. Oh, come on, tomorrow come and meet your dad. Daddy, I'm coming out. You're coming out?
Oh, yeah.
You're coming out.
Oh, yeah.
So now,
Oh,
what the man told the woman was, the girl was, young lady, fine, achieve everything. Please don't be like my wife. I know what I'm going through. I'm suffering. Now, because of this selfish desire of I want to dominate as a woman, you dominate to the extent that you lose important things. Even men, when they do it, they lose important things. I think the important things in life are those things that are abstract, don't touch. The love of a family, the care, those emotional things, those are things that you think of and they make you happy. Job will stress you out tomorrow. They might oust you out of a job or workplace tomorrow. So even as men and women, you just have to know that which one is more important to you. Which one is more important to your emotional well-being, your mental health as a person. So if a woman starts realizing that, you will make the necessary sacrifice and you will make the necessary compromise for that. You will make the necessary compromise. At least my mom taught me that. We make the one that is necessary. The one that is not necessary, you forgo it. So that is how it is in the African society. Take note, I said African society. Because even though our audience might be from Europe, anywhere, who knows who's going to stumble on this video? But the thing is this, I am talking from the point of, this is what my society has structured. Before my society will evolve to that of the American society, it's going to take years. Before we will normalize cross-dressing in this country, it's going to take years. Before it will be normal for a kid. Before it will be normal for a kid to come out in this country. I'm dyke, I'm gay. I feel like turning to a boy. It's going to take ages. So the society is not that. So that we move according to the pace of the society.
everybody just to embrace everything from the West, because that's
Thank
how
you.
it started messing up from
That's
from
it.
the start.
Alright,
Okay, in as much as I wanted to say something before. In as much as the Nigerian society is conservative, most of this, it is easier for us to assimilate most of these social changes than even the economic changes or any other aspect of the society. Most of these social changes, like coming out and so many other social changes that are happening in Europe, are easily gotten. These things easily influence the African culture. Yes, it is true. The African society is conservative. It is, but you cannot take away the fact that the world is now a lot more. There's the influence of the social media and a lot of exposure out there now that people get most of these things. So it is easier to. I think yes, it will take years, but it will be a lot more faster than let's say the social media is not there or all this other exactly is not there. So I think
we see people embracing it.
yes, there are people like Bobrisky, all these guys.
No, not even Bobrisky. I mean people that I think the
And even just
sister.
regular people.
The celebrating sister, she came out as a lesbian. She's open.
So I feel people tend to.
I think even I think this person, I've forgotten the name. They also came out as gay. They came out.
live in Nigeria.
No, they don't.
There are people that
Or even if they
No, they are
come
people
to
that live in
Nigeria,
Nigeria.
but even if they come to Nigeria because of their status in the society.
Yeah.
was former special advisor to Jonathan. The man is actually a doctor. He's even working with Peter Obi on his campaign, and the son came out.
Wow.
So if that kind of person,
So even if people like that now, and again their status in the society,
Yes, actually.
some of these laws and everything,
Is this
so
influential
it is
people
easier
that are
for
coming
us
out? So they are
for
actually
us to
coming
accept
out.
it.
And
to
this
accept those
person
things
is
compared to
she's a
maybe
movie producer.
economic
She's the
changes
first person to
or
produce a gay movie in this country.
Wow.
Yeah.
so those things are.
actually, I feel it's actually very possible. I think the law is just holding them from getting married.
That's
Marry
it.
your fellow
The
people,
law is
marry
just
your fellow
holding them from doing it.
It's just the law.
It's just like Britain, just like UK. It's definitely going to have come over the Queen for the first royal gay wedding to happen. What are we saying? And the Queen was
Yeah, they are very
was
conservative.
was a party to that. She approved it. So, and this is somebody that said no, and that was why the Church of Nigeria, the Church of Nigeria separated from the Church of England. That's why we have the Nigerian Communion, no more the Anglican, like the England Communion.
Yeah.
So it's going to just take a bit of time.
It's happened. So
I actually wanted to take us back a little to the women not following women thing. For me, I wanted to mention that for me, I feel it stems from a cultural thing where we are used to men leading.
Exactly.
So when a woman leads, it feels unnatural.
Yes.
And it feels we just naturally oppose it. I agree that it happens. Like I feel even personally, I might when I say a woman in a leadership position, depending on how she handles it, I might feel
she's bossy or
Mm.
something like.
you understand? When a guy does when a man is in that same position and does that same thing, I might because of my upbringing,
It's
and I
not
just
actually, I
feel
feel
No,
it's
yeah,
not
I
about
said
it.
something now.
Let's not
Women find it. See, women are positive. See, women are people that. See, let me tell you something. Women are people that they want this is not my own. Like this is my own. They care for it. They love it. Everything. So when two women are coveting a position, easily men can step down. And very soon in these primaries, you see men stepping down and saying no, I'm going for this person. But if it's a woman, if they are all women, trust me,
Nobody
nobody will come down. Like
That's
There's
the
a prime
problem of
example, and ABC,
inferiority complex.
that's
program.
women.
Like,
Okay,
there were two women fighting for a position.
It's captured.
This
See,
happens to
listen, even within
On TV,
ourselves, even within
there are two
our
women
we are
fighting for a
going.
position.
Yeah.
And they try to talk to two of them. Now they talk
Yeah.
to like, okay, maybe this man should step down for this one and all of that behind the scenes. And they got there. They actually cheated the other lady and begged her to step down.
Yeah.
But they finished the whole talk behind the scenes. So you believe that this other lady still came on stage and snatched mic and was still being dramatic? Meanwhile, it's very rare for you to see men doing that.
Even if a man would take revenge, he would do it
subtly behind the scenes.
So are we trying to say women are petty?
Yes, we can be. Let's have a woman. Come on, we can be. See, even we're going far as for politics, even amongst ourselves, friends. Come on, what are we saying?
How many times do ladies come out to play with each other?
Hardly.
Let me guys even come out.
Hardly.
Because I feel like I feel like naturally women just like to keep to themselves.
What?
So what's not the point?
No, not like keep to themselves. Like they just like to have their own.
Yeah.
We don't like.
That is
You
your
don't
personality.
It is your favorite.
It is difficult. I'm sorry. Men,
It's
listen,
not-
people, listen, ladies are listening to me, might hate me in this video, but the thing is this, it is true. I've experienced it before. It is difficult. If you stay in a room together with a lady, come on, two ladies together. Listen, you don't have to fight physically. You don't have to fight physically.
But even
But the
men
fact that
still
it is
agree with
women's
that.
fight.
That's
Listen,
the way.
it is difficult. It is difficult for women to kind of create this balance. Sincerely, it is very difficult between personalities.
Men also have issues.
No, men have their issues.
I think there's this thing that both guys, like if you step out of line, we'll throw hands
And after they are friends and all that.
But a woman's way of
but
fighting
the
is
fear
different.
I think why women don't
not valid.
have
Don't even fight.
I feel like everyone.
No, I
than physical. A woman's fight is more emotional than physical.
The consequences for such.
Yeah, that is because let me
The
tell you, that
consequence
is
for
why.
that, for fighting in an emotional way, is less compared to the fact that two guys can have scores to settle and they go at it.
The same thing is going on for
remember,
goes on.
Because
if
that is why I said why the Bible said, and Mary keeps this thing in her heart. Like, come on, we ponder too much on these things. See, if we ponder too much on that, like you go to a lot of therapy sessions and all that, or you talk to a lot of therapy, you see that this majority of people that attend these sessions are women. Fine, despite the fact that okay, so men, like most men don't really care about their mental health. They don't really care about their mental health. But the thing is that because of that mentality,
They actually don't move.
some of them don't move. They just move. They just listen. Some of them don't. But the thing is that
it still shows their behavior. It shows how they treat people.
no, but the thing is that
Cover it up.
that's the cover is the cover. The thing is that
Most men must want to
no,
talk
what
about
men
it because of what society was.
that's it. What women do is that they cover. But the thing about
let's-
women is that
let's
let's be
discuss-
very
no,
honest.
no.
Women are more emotional and they tend to ponder even after going to the therapy and all that. You still ponder on these things because that is your genetic. You can't literally you cannot do
Now,
anything.
let's
about it.
discuss how we handle issues or matters of the heart or things that actually bother us. Mental, everything, I don't know.
Yeah, matter of the heart. That was
mental
true.
health and everything. So I'll start from Iana. Maybe I want our own personal
Yeah, from the
experience
male
now. How you handle things that
Yeah.
bother you now. I don't want us to generalize yet. We'll still go into that, but I want us to first discuss okay, if something is wrong, how do you feel? How do you just go about it as a guy? Now, you just have this huge body and you are not happy.
I have people I talk to actually. I have people I open up to. Okay, I have this issue. Let's say probably I have issue with a lady. Most of the times I'm all ladies. For guys, no, it's the truth now.
Yeah.
Because most times it's about girls. Okay, this person is not treating me right. I'm giving this person attention. She's not doing it the same way you want it to be get. So I have people I talk to. I just let them know, and they are girls too, like my female friends. So I talk to them because they know.
Exactly.
It's not true.
Because
And men don't feel comfortable talking about their problems to other men.
What?
we
Today-
do that.
Because no, they do but
I don't you. Exactly. They will tell you, but they'll make fun of you.
No,
But
no,
they will
no,
make
no,
you
no,
sarcastic.
no,
They
no,
try
no,
to
no,
solve what you know.
You know,
You can't
That's exactly what
you
I'm
can't
saying.
subtract-
Yes, you are right. They will talk to the lady. They will talk to the
You
lady
can't
because they feel like the
subtract
ladies
advice from
understand
sarcasm.
ladies better.
that's
The ladies understand
okay,
ladies
wait,
better.
hold on.
Do
Do you know I've heard females making fun of guys behind their back? But we guys will do it to your face because we are actually not scared of you. And we will still
I
You
know
see
some
some-
men
Speak for yourself.
speak
for yourself.
guys
man.
don't speak make fun of us behind their back.
But-
They do it comfortably,
but
but they
you
call
give
it
the person
just
just men's talk, the men's chat, but they will not call it what it is.
You know, it's
But men's chat is what
I love that girl. Men's
chat.
chat.
Just chat.
A lot of guys are saying to the girls.
to the guy.
They're saying no. I'm saying you say
They can
I
miss
sat
some
in the
of the
midst
guy.
of men, and I felt like crying from within, like, what is the same thing? When people pretend like it's something, I'm like, do the exact same thing. But you don't want to
men's
admit
talk,
it.
men's chat,
They
gossip.
do not want to admit it. I've sat in, I have more male friends than female, so I know what happens. I've been in
And
the
when they
midst.
start saying those things, you pity the girls. Like,
Hey,
Jesus,
wait,
no,
but if I go, where should I go talk?
I get no point.
So I disagree
So,
heavily.
from his own perspective now, he talks to females.
Yeah. Oh,
But
thank you for considering.
I still want to point it out that you guys might feel it's not safe for guys to talk to guys. If you talk to me, for example, I'm very bad at that.
Yes.
I'll make fun of you, but I'll still give you good.
Oh, you see good advice.
No, but you can't subtract one from the other. So when
But
next,
how many do give you? You are speaking for yourself. I've seen instances that they do
and
not.
that's why I'm speaking
They
for
mock
myself.
you, continue mocking you, mock you the day later, the day after, they remind
Yeah,
you.
you know
when they ask you, when they ask
You know why?
like, my guy! 5 years later, I remember when you talk.
You can't subtract.
Yes, your head.
Bros, why you talk? Why you talk?
You can't subtract. For me,
Yeah.
for me, I feel like why I won't subtract the sarcasm part is that, and I feel you should also do the same thing because I won't really care. The truth still remains that when next you want to fuck up or do something wrong, you remember that if this guy should find out, gently, if this guy should find out that I did this thing, it will make fun of me. So you will be your senses that.
So you're taking away the human factor of what being a person is, because humans will make mistakes. And they are not
Surely, but you should
So-
learn from your experience. Once you mess up, you should learn.
But when you mess
You
up,
should
what
learn.
if it was a first time mistake? So you have like you have to.
No, most time you say, guys,
You won't
don't
judge,
do
you
that
won't still
much.
judge you for
When
making
it's
the
the
same
second time,
mistake.
trust me.
But
You
you're
will
raising
still
that
judge you.
that's my
No, no,
point.
no.
That you
You
cannot
will
take
still
away
judge
the
you for
humanity from the
making
person. People will
the
make
same
mistakes.
The only person
But
sarcasm
if you
makes a
come
lot
back,
of
Even the
mistakes.
greatest people in the world, if Mark Zuckerberg would have made no mistakes to even open mistake palace.
but we should still make
people
fun
will
of
make
we should still make
mistakes.
fun of you now.
People will
Like,
make
we should still-
mistakes.
Listen,
You should
sarcasm
understand
people
that.
don't really understand your sarcasm so well.
No, I'm a sarcastic person
Not
by
everybody
nature.
understands
You know
it.
me. You know me.
Personally, I am, but I know when to be a person and when to be a
Oh my
sarcastic
God.
person. You have to know when to
No.
separate the beast from the human. I know my beastly side, but I don't let it
You
dominate me.
you can't just maybe come to me now. I will listen to you. Many people here, all of you know that I will listen. I don't need to say
Yeah,
your story.
I'll give you
But
credit for that. I'll give you credit
the
for
thing still remains that if there's this chance, just a slight chance for me
that.
to throw a joke,
Yeah, you do that, man. Like,
I'll still
okay,
find a way to. And it's not, I'm not trying to joke to
to
make
lighten
you
the
feel
mood.
bad or anything.
You want
But,
to lighten the mood.
but it's just,
Small demon, you can't help it.
it's just
You want to
making-
lighten the mood.
Exactly, and you feel,
Aww.
you just, if you listen to me, the thing is, I will actually feel bad.
But some people
It's
feel
not
like
doing
when
it
you
to hurt
joke
you.
about
I'm
it,
not
it
doing it
lessens
to
the
hurt you.
impact.
I'm not doing it to
Like
hurt
if something,
anybody.
you don't get my point. You joking about it and actually lessen the impact.
Nah, it doesn't.
It makes it seem like why did I exaggerate?
Nah, it doesn't actually.
No, sometimes it actually does. There are some moments you
Yeah.
just want it to be
Yes,
as
yeah.
straightforward as possible. Like let us be honest ourselves. But
It
some
also
people just
depends.
joke. How can I say, oh my god, I went out and I got slapped? Well, with this slap heavy, no like you don't feel like you don't feel like okay.
You know, it depends
Next time I
on
don't
your-
listen. I'm not going back to this person.
It depends
It's
on your
already
approach.
trivializes
You read the person
the whole
too.
thing.
There are some people that I actually don't joke with them. I've stopped joking with them. You know why? Because maybe you try it once and you discover that
They don't have you.
they don't vibe like that.
So they don't
So
have work.
when next they
That's
come
what
to
I
you,
was saying.
just keep a straight face and tell them what they want to hear.
And then-
Move on.
And move on. Don't even try to joke at all because you know they went back there and they will end up talking about it for months to come and you won't even like it. So, how do you, I'm moving to Joy, how do you handle
Okay.
stress and mental anything?
Okay, most times I cry. I cry and I like to be left alone at that moment. And if you want to chip in something, just don't try to be sarcastic. And listen, and I like it when you are quite objective about it. And also your objectivity will come with a touch of subjectivity. Take note that the person you are talking to at that point, she's not in a good place. So you, even if you want to blame me, I think for me to start crying, I have blamed myself severally for it. So you should not come and we told you, and at that point, by the time you start doing stuff like that, I find it very difficult when I open up to you or tell you anything, or tell you like what exactly is going on with me. I would rather go and talk to somebody I do not know ever. Yeah, I would rather go and talk to a stranger, and the stranger will know exactly what happened, and I will hear the opinion of a stranger. And yeah, even though the stranger tomorrow might, shoot me in the head and go and broadcast the message everywhere, but at least I got what I wanted from the stranger, right? And the stranger would know, the guilty conscience will keep killing the person. The stranger will know that. But normally, all I do is I cry. And let me do the crying. Don't beg me. Let me pour it all out. That's why I encourage men. I know they've told men, now man, you be, don't cry. That's why I told you, like, I'll just tell you, man, come here, cry. You can cry. Like, you do it, cry and all that. So, I will cry. I want to be left alone. And if you want to say anything about it, and the moment I said, I've moved on from this, please, move on yourself. Yeah, for all parties involved, when I say I have moved on from this,
you mean the people you told or people you are?
both the people I told, both the people that were party to that, whatever that was going on then, move on to. If I say you don't exist to me, I should not exist to you, let it be like that. I don't want to exist like you guys. If I say give me my space for some time, give me the space for that time. Because if you start doing a lot of things prematurely, at the end of the day, what the lessons I'm supposed to learn from there, I won't learn it. And there will be a lot of meddling because at that point, my emotion is not even stable enough. So I will definitely make a lot of mistakes. So that is how I literally, and sometimes when it gets too much for me to handle, man, you go seek medical help. Go see a therapist or something. I do it personally. I don't shy away from it. And when it's looking like my personal crying therapy is not working, medical therapy doesn't work, like I said earlier, I'm a Christian. I go pray and I tell the Holy Spirit, Mr. Man, I see my other brother, dude, Alpha, they don't do your sister strong thing, or your sister don't do mistake, step in and do your thing. So that's for those that believe. And so people should just whatever works for them. That's what works for me.
Okay. So Abba, as a sociologist, I know you even know many things about handling what should I call it now? One's mental health, emotional and all of that. Like, what do you feel like is the go-to thing for you? Do you talk to people?
What's your coping mechanism?
Yeah. Don't you talk to people?
You don't want to expose it to the internet or
But you want to keep it to yourself. It's like this guy doesn't have issues with people.
He must be very easygoing. Like,
Yeah,
life is easier.
Let him talk.
I'm trying to imagine.
what would be your advice to someone?
No, let's see.
No, say your personal.
I think it should be personal.
Yeah,
It should be something that has to do with you.
You, man.
Yeah.
See, everybody's looking at you.
Most times, I read books. Yes.
Wow.
I get lost
We
in
share-
a totally
we share-
different world. I prefer that. I prefer just focusing on what matters.
Do you
Yes,
read
instead of-
books like in that line? Do you like dig deep into that something you don't understand, maybe intergender dynamics or something? Do you like devote your time to understand and really research those areas, or like just read generally?
Most times I reflect a lot. I self-reflect. I think about the mistakes I've made, what happened. I reform that image again. I reconstruct the image. I try to really think about what must have gone wrong, why that has happened. Then I read. I look for a distraction. I look for a book to read or something. Then if it gets to a very severe situation, I talk to my brother. Then I think those are the only things I do. Or I watch a movie. Yes, I can also do that. I can watch movies, I can play games. But if it is that serious, then I talk to my brother. I try to reflect a lot about what really happened, then
Try to make it better, not to
then,
repeat the
and
same
again,
thing.
I believe I have some ideologies. What you cannot really change, what you cannot control, then I feel you should let it go.
Yes.
I feel you should let it go.
Nice.
Nice.
Okay, I'm
Yes.
next. I think I have a kind of guyish approach to my emotions. I tend to bottle things up too much to the point that it's when I'm in my last nerve then I did then express myself.
See you then.
I tend to I can be legit pissed at you and I find myself unconsciously just not reacting the way I should. So I find myself sometimes just if I'm at home, I'm sitting down, my brain somehow reenacts the whole thing. I'm thinking about what if I use these words instead of these words? Like I'm trying to undo it in my head.
Yeah.
It has not happened, it will not happen. I will never have a redo of those situations, but I find myself doing that. So I always find myself constantly trying to fight that whole reaction to things. So people that don't even know I'm a movie addict. So whenever I feel like okay, I'm not reacting to that, okay, I'm distracting myself like I do, like he's mentioned, distracting myself. But I feel like distracting myself is not a good mechanism. You are running away from me. Just I don't normally believe that do what works for you. If a student like a serial killer, the way you want to handle his emotions, if someone then please do not deal with it. There are some things you should like. I find out that okay, I find myself feeling better when I talk to my friends about it because somehow they relate to. We have a problem that somehow we share it. Like if I'm having a particular issue, I find out I'm not the only one having this issue. Someone is having this issue. We talk about it and realize okay, this is how it should have happened. They do not make you repeat. So I'm learning as I'm growing to always open up, even though it took a very, very, very long time. So that is my way of dealing with it. Like conversing with people, talking to people, and expressing myself, not extremely, but at that moment, if I'm not, I let it know. But I am not aggressive. I'm not also being a moron. Like I don't like it, Shara, but I am expressing myself at that moment as a person, not as that's how I deal with it.
So that's
Okay, I think I share very similar coping mechanisms with so for me, generally, usually I'm an escapist. Like I don't like confrontation. I don't like words, exchange of words. I feel very uncomfortable once you just start talking. Like so generally, usually I just find a way to get out of that situation, find a way to get out of that conversation, whatever it is. But I have learned that it's really not the best way to handle situations, and it's not the best way to handle conflict. So I have started, because I won't say I'm perfect in it. Sometimes I still find myself like, okay, something just happens that somebody annoys me, and something I just like, please, let this conversation just be over, and I go and read my book. So once I go, I just go to another space, another world, or I go watch a movie and I'm in another space, another world. I don't have to deal with that. Then when I come back, I just like, okay, that situation, this has handled itself, alright. So, but I feel I'm coming to a place where I'm getting to understand that I should speak up, I should say what I feel, and then if it's possible, if after telling the person how I feel, the person is not giving me the response I need, because sometimes you tell someone how you feel, and the response is making you re-respond. So I don't think making you re-respond. So I just like, okay, I there are few people that I trust that I can say, okay, I can go and shout my shout with them. So I shout my shout with them, and they bring me back to a place of calm, like, okay, calm down, relax, and all that. And then yes, pray about it too for me. I pray about it. It just brings me back to my state of calm, brings me back to my state of relax, and then just make me a bit more relaxed and a bit more happy with whatever is going on. So those are my coping mechanisms, I think, yeah.
I feel like I can draw from everything else. If you have your close circle, you can talk to.
Yes, exactly.
Ways you disconnect from reality for a short while, even if you are just bandaging
situation.
And also, if you are a Christian, whichever, or you are a Muslim, or any faith, let me narrow it down.
Pray to what you believe in.
Yes, hope it helps you. And if you don't believe in anything, I'm sure people have their own mechanisms. Like, okay, maybe now I learned something from Guy Winch, like Emotional Bandit. He wrote the book and had the TED Talk a while back. And that was when I actually learned that, okay, we humans are actually stronger than we think. And I I made a move at one point in time that actually shocked me. I was like, that's when I actually almost started believing I was an asshole based on what some people would say. Because it was just within a short period of time, and my eyes were just opened, and I saw that all I needed to do in difficult times is search for people that have gone through those same situations, experiences, and they've gained knowledge in a way, and try to like model what they did if it worked, and also just check in general, because I feel like history always repeats itself. If you go through time, it's just like Robert Gray now. He writes his book based on maybe old kings, queens, statesmen, people in relationships, and all of that. That something happened, and this how it now brings in psychology in a way. Like there's a science that they've studied some things. It tries to just match everything up and tell you like a story, and tell you someone's story and what they did wrong and how you don't repeat it, how you protect yourself and all of that. So it actually helps trying to find knowledge sometimes on some certain things. It helps you. You might not even, like me now, I don't really see myself crying because I don't even know. It won't come. But if crying works
So you cry.
for anyone, it's also a way. So it's also a way of letting that if you like screaming, I know some people that scream, and you just have to. They scream at you, and some people they'll scream at you, so you just keep quiet and let them scream, get it all out, and yeah, I feel like that. We are more or less the same, guys or girls.
Yeah, except for the crying part.
No, guys,
Guys
don't
cry.
cry. Don't cry.
Guys
Don't cry in public.
The girls don't like this.
I don't cry.
No, the
Very
difference,
sensitive.
the difference,
Private.
the difference is some guys now, the way I say it, obviously there's a stigma out there that is against guys crying, and females also will make fun of them.
Yeah.
Even guys will make fun of them.
Exactly.
That is
Forget
sad.
that guys will be no, I don't make fun of guys that cry, please. I love it when guys cry. Yeah.
But I feel like in reality,
I don't, man. I don't.
even if I have a brother and he has an issue with his wife, instead of him crying to her, I'll still feel he should cry to maybe a father figure or someone.
Why would you
Why
cry
would
to somebody?
you-
Why would you cry to somebody you have
to
issues
his wife?
with? You can't cry to
because it will now be somehow
No, that doesn't work.
exudes weakness and
Obviously,
all
you
of
can't
that.
be
No,
crying.
you can't be
to his wife,
crying
no.
to. I feel like if you are to me, why is there an
Why
area
is
guys
guys
crying?
crying?
You have an issue with somebody else, and as a guy, you want to talk, and then you feel like crying at that point. Dude, cry. Not when you have an issue with me, we're both quarreling, and then you want to cry.
Are you want to cry?
I am going to, even if you are not mad, trust me, I'll laugh at you. I'm going to laugh at you, one. Even if I don't laugh at you at that moment, I'm going to come and laugh at you. But if it's that you had to shoot somebody, you came and you were crying to me, trust me, I'll never make fun of.
But I understand what he's
That's
saying.
the
He's trying to say that crying kind of emasculates a man in like his marriage or
In
his wife.
society.
How will you cry to your
No,
wife?
there are some moments that women do it in their arguing with their husband, and they're just busting into like, I don't like this. That's probably what he's trying to say. There are moments when you just argue and feel yourself busting into tears without control. That happens. So I'm trying to say like, if it's the wife, maybe he's trying to say like emasculate, it makes him look less of a man.
Oh, yeah.
That's what he's trying to say. Like, whether you face maybe a father figure, cry to your father figure, let him tap your back. Then, you know, that
Yeah, I
kind of
understand.
thing.
I get what you're saying.
I think that's what he's trying to say, but I don't know if I'm right.
Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah. Because I feel people would, even as a female sometimes, like I feel you should not show the person wanting you a form of weakness.
It's
You feel
people
the
feel like
satisfaction, even as a girl, if a guy is hurting you, don't cry to the guy. Cry to someone else.
It makes this form of
It gives
weakness.
the
You're already
satisfaction to
Oh my
someone.
God.
No, but to
Continue.
me, tears is a form of strength. So I don't really tears is a form of strength.
Except you know the person, because there are some guys that will actually
No,
cry.
whether you know
Once
the
they see
person
you
or
cry.
not, it takes guts to cry, man. It takes some serious guts.
But
Take it
people
from
can't
somebody,
develop. Whenever
take
they
it from
feel
somebody like me that cries easily. It takes fine. The tears want to come, even if I hold it back. It takes guts to cry because it takes guts to want somebody to see you at that low point. It takes
But sometimes
so
people
much
cannot
And it's
control it. Some people just find
also
themselves
good to
whenever they
know
feel
that the
it.
person will understand you and not
If the person doesn't understand, that's his problem.
But,
That's
but,
his
but you
Yeah.
should always not just cry to anybody. That's why I feel shy. Just,
When it's coming and you are trying to hold it back and you want to really express your hurt, and that's the way to express it, girl,
There's
boy,
moments that you
cry.
can
cry in the moment, yeah.
burst of emotion, and the first thing that comes out is just tears.
Tears.
So
So
you
cry.
cry, so if you come out, just
Don't
tears.
hold it back, because the moment you start holding it back, I've tried it for there were times, yes, I didn't cry.
But there are moments
about
that it's
things.
important.
By
to
the time I
just-
got the outburst, it was not a nice experience at all. I felt it deep inside. It was not nice. So that's why since that time I really encourage people, if that is how you are going to release the hurt, cry.
But it depends, because I'm going to talk about his personal experience that should not be said out loud, but Lord help me. There was moments, a low point in my life that I was walking somewhere and all those things. So my boss kind of shouted at me. Of course, adding to my own personal emotion there with the boss shouting at me, I found myself unconsciously crying. Now at that moment, the boss did not look at me with sympathy and love. It has lowered my
Even look at
respect.
and love, definitely.
It had lowered the respect in mind that, oh my God, I have a weak ass worker. Oh God, is this what I'm going to deal with for the rest of God knows when? So that kind of thing. There are some moments where crying does not help you.
Yeah.
In that moment, I was always crying myself with so much dignity, and I unconsciously cried at that moment because a lot of things like pushed that moment and brought it to life, and so
yeah,
I cried.
Say your boss is made.
I think where I would balance these two things is that chairs are not weak. I think I
No,
know where
yeah,
you're
no, I'm saying
Yes,
that
but
a lot of people don't see it as that.
then the person is not human.
And because someone else is not going to see your tears as generally. I don't like crying in public. I don't think I can remember any situation where I cried in public, but I still feel if I see someone crying, I am touched by that tears, because I feel the strength it took for you to open, because me, I would not.
That's it.
So the strength it took for you to open up
And start crying.
to someone and start crying, like wow,
Then you
like,
will hurt on the
really,
deep
you
level.
are really in so much pain. So I get, but as if you can, like in that situation where you're not,
Yeah.
like you are in an office
environment
environment
has changed
and-
the setting.
and you don't because people will perceive you as they wish because of who they
I
are.
can't go around
And
explaining.
you don't want
And
to,
like,
you
I
don't
don't
want
know
to
if you
start.
tell my boss, this is what
Exactly.
happened, it's not
You
your
don't-
way,
you
so
don't
always
want
I'm not
to-
doing this is what happened. I couldn't. At that moment, all he sees is that I shouted at you and you cried.
Start crying. So
That's
you,
all.
you don't want that kind of
That's all.
situation.
So,
you might just
I want
stop
to
with tears.
Move
or
on to something
doesn't
else.
mean you're weak.
So, we don't see, if we agree, we don't see emotional men as weak.
No, I don't.
Do we see disagreeable women as strong, as being strong?
No.
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 Okay, so I guess you guys didn't say anything. Yeah? Okay. So do you feel the other gender understand? Do you feel we understand each other's values, like guys, girls?
No,
No, we
we
don't.
do not. Not by a long shot.
They say men are from Mars. Men are from Venus.
Yeah.
Come on.
Like,
That's so wide apart.
very wide apart, man.
I feel we are different, but I still feel we can still.
We can still
Understand.
correct that. We
Understand.
don't respect it. We can still. That's a futuristic
I feel the point of understanding is still very far-fetched from our society right now.
Yeah.
It's still very far-fetched. We are not getting it
Even
much
most people
as-
don't even
as
understand.
close as we could get.
Yeah.
Because I still speak with some guys that are like, you don't get how a woman feels about what you just did. Like, okay, I get what you're saying from guys' perspective, but because I'm a woman, I'm seeing this totally different.
Yeah.
So there are situations where like we have a way of looking at things because we are built different. Most of us are brought
That's
up different. And
But
we-
what you said just now, you know, I have an experience that just because I feel like I apologize only when I feel I need to. So there was once that I had an issue with someone and I knew how she felt. So based on how she felt, I didn't do anything wrong. I told her I'm sorry. Then not too long after, I decided to make a decision for myself. Females always say that pick yourself first and all of that, but this was not even from a selfish point of view. But I had to make a decision for myself, like, okay, this is what I want, and this is what I need to do to get what I want. And it's not something bad. I don't want anybody in the process. Now, the exact same person I felt empathy for had an issue with me doing that, despite me explaining. And I felt like she never wanted to see it from the guy's point of view. I feel sometimes guys are, after lots of maybe manipulation or compulsion, they actually try to bend, especially for females that are close to us. But sometimes I feel females are more like rigid to guys' point of view sometimes, because we feel like you can always have your way. Have you guys not experienced that before? Like females always feel like they can have their way. Guys say it a lot, but behind you guys say it a lot. So let's bring it to the open that females sometimes feel they can always have their way.
Are you kidding?
Yes.
I think for what she said, based on the fact that we're brought up differently and all that, I for one, I don't think I can always get what I want. Like, you have to work for some of these things. Even the respect the guy gives you sometimes, it doesn't come naturally. You have to literally prove to the person like what's that respect. So as for women, like that balance or understanding each other. As for women, the point where a woman begins to get firm is because she has been lax, and people have taken advantage of that laxity. That is where the woman starts becoming firm. Exactly. Personally, I'm at that point. Like, call it selfishness, call it whatever. If I say no to it, I have said no to it. Especially when it comes to the guys.
But do you get my question? If a guy now listens to a female, maybe share her opinion on anything and can live with it.
No, okay, now.
It now comes to.
I'm not yet done. I'm still at the lady's side now. So, me as a lady right now, I'm at this point where it's either my way or the highway. Yes. Either my way, you go to the if you don't want my way, you go to the highway and get crushed there. That is your business. I really do not care anymore. So the thing is that right now, for guys now, coming to the other side of guys who have their values, right? That they want to project. And most times, because of the emotional makeup of women, especially when there is this emotional attraction, we can let our guard down very easily. Very easy for a woman to let her guard down and accept your ideology. But you as a man, for a woman telling you, like I said, I'm at the stage where it's my way or the highway. Whenever I'm telling you my way, whenever I'm telling most guys my way, they tend to say.
I almost disagreed, and I remember that.
They tend
be like that sometimes.
They tend to say that. They tend to tell me, okay, I'm going to pick the highway. Yes. Because they are not comfortable with whatever it is I am whatever terms or whatever things I'm telling them, this is what I want to do, this is how I want to do it. They're not comfortable with it. And that's because people are not emotional, you are logical. It leads your benefit to me. You've already, in that split second, you made so much decision and made a lot of contemplation. But you see for the girls, you see for the ladies, what we do is, okay, when you say it, at first, we might say, I cannot do that kind of, we'll do it. And then later we'll not sit down, we love this person now. Let us make a little compromise. You start going through all those thought process. Most times for ladies, it takes the place of a third party to come and whip you up. That, girl, are you okay?
Yes, like this.
Are you okay? Like it takes a third party to come and whip you up, or something you've heard from a third party to bring you back to reality. So if it's that one, I think it is the guys that get what they want because of our emotional build-up. So it takes a third party.
No, I'm not saying I will bend to anybody's will.
Listen, you are not going to bend to anybody's will. Listen, you are not going to bend to anybody's will.
I don't force females to do what they want.
Listen, you don't have to force them.
I don't do anything like that. But when it comes to the other case,
they will have to force you. Listen,
the reverse, you don't have to force.
Listen. Why you don't need to force a lady is this?
Especially, I'm not talking about.
Excuse me. When you don't have to force a lady because she most likely is emotional. Except for transgenders that they don't have that thing in them. Or for transgender, those people that do gender reconstruction surgery. The thing is that we are emotional as ladies, so we'll be like, at first we might be objective and defensive and everything about the matter, but when we sit down and think of it, because we are considering our emotions, we have probably made some projections into the future and all that, and we're like, we have to do this thing, and so on and so forth. At the end of the day, we'll do what you say, even without forcing, and that decision might not take days. It might not even take hours. We'll make that decision and call you, hello, that thing that you said, okay, now let us see if you can do it. Let us see if I can think of it that way too. We start thinking like that. But for men, because a woman wants to stand her ground at that point, because the woman knows that she can try every possible means and you will still not agree with her. So she will want to use that force that, hey, guy, you have to do what I want. If it's not my way, you go and crash on the highway or anything. Yes, because that's how it is. But it's easy to convince women than men. At that point, when I'm telling you that you've already made a lot of logical reasoning in your head, will it be of benefit to me? You have made a lot of things already. In fact, you made a lot of decisions.
I guess what he's saying.
The logical part now is like, you know what to pay off. I'm not talking about small petty things. I'm talking about things that will count 10 years from now.
That's what I'm saying.
There are some times that a guy will just have to decide that, okay, this is what I have to do. I'm not talking about anything short term. I'm talking about
understand.
long term.
That's what I'm saying.
Goals that can actually count.
Why is it that you are now thinking of your? Why is it that when you are making that decision? Why is that when you are making that decision? You are only contemplating on what is your benefit to you in the long term. Are you thinking of the other person when she said? Did you think of how it would also benefit her too in the long term goal, in the long term aspect?
There are sometimes, except you two are trying to plan something together, you don't necessarily have to factor.
That's okay. So why would you be having that kind of conversation with somebody? Why would you be having that kind of conversation with somebody if you don't plan to do things together with the person?
If your plans don't align,
then why are you having a conversation in the first place?
Both of you are free to go your separate ways. It's not. There's nothing fixed.
But you think the thing is, the guys, you people will tend to cajole the lady because you know of the emotional build-up unconsciously in your head, and you want to cajole the lady thanks to her emotional build-up that she will agree.
She might end up resenting you for that.
I feel like
she might not resenting you, but even in the midst of that resentment, she'll still there are still other emotional factors that will come up. We see it in our mothers. Some mothers resent their husband, but they'll think of it. My children. My mommy, what my mommy suffered before she brought me to this
But
point.
this only works if it's someone that you're interested in, or someone that you have an interest in.
Okay, why would you people be having that kind of conversation normally when you're not interested in each other?
Do you know?
I'm not even talking relationship.
Let me draw you back to what I said.
Conversation.
If a guy can be empathetic and just try to reason some things out, and now it's your turn to understand some things, and how they will pay off in the long run, and you don't, as a female.
No, that one is bad.
I think we are looking at particular situations instead of.
No, I'm not saying my own.
I get you're coming from your own particular.
I think a lady.
But I feel like generally, I would agree with Joy that women are more likely
to be pushed
to succumb to what a guy is suggesting than to just stand on their own firm ground that this is what I want.
Yeah.
And that's why most of the time you find that there are women that give up their careers, give up their ideas, give up their ambitions,
even their
because
friends,
of the men in their lives.
Yeah.
So I feel like women generally are more likely to give leeways than men would. And I say a man will tell you, this is what I want to see, and if I'm not seeing it, goodbye, bye, end of story.
That's it.
And I get what
because as women, we don't choose the kind of men that come to us. It's what comes to us that we deal with. We start selecting with what comes to us. You people have the ice cream table there. You pick whatever flavor you want.
Should I tell you the basis of this? It's red pill and it's just the blunt truth. A lady only has control over picking who will sleep with her. But a guy has control over who he actually maybe wives or gets in a long-term relationship with. Do you understand what I'm saying? We're not talking about extreme scenarios of rape or any other
No,
I'm saying
a lady chooses
who she decides to sleep with.
That is if there are a lot of options of guys that come to her, because a lady doesn't just scan through the street and say,
I would not
no. It's still a decision in a way. You know, the guy can't force it.
No, the guy will have to come. Now, like say, we ladies deal with whatever comes to us. The people that come, the guys that come to us, that's what we do.
No, guys
right?
end up.
But you people are at the ice cream shop.
Many
you people
guys.
are at the
Many
listen,
guys.
I'm going to give an ice cream
Many
shop
guys
example.
engage girls.
You people walk into the ice cream shop, the ladies are the flavors there, right? All the flavors with anyone you want. Yes, you approach anyone you want. When you see, okay, maybe this one don't they breathe, you leave, you go to the next flavor, another, or this one doesn't look appealing, you leave and go to the next flavor. But ladies, we ladies coming to the ice cream shop is what the dealer scoops for us. All the flavors he scoops for us. That's what we see and say, I don't remove this flavor from the
Wait, are you saying this from a personal experience?
I'm not saying from
Yes,
personal
I think girls
experience.
have the freedom of choice a lot too.
Especially in my own African society where I grew up, men walk up to women.
Yes,
Okay,
and many men can walk up to the same girl.
Yeah, many men can walk up to the same
Exactly.
girl.
And that is what I'm
Not
saying.
So she will still.
Not all girls actually get
That
that.
is what I'm saying.
Yeah,
You now have
that's
the
the
options that
option.
come. That is the options that
That's
come
it.
to you.
That's
That is what you
You
deal
get
with
what
as a
you do.
lady.
You don't
It's
get
the
what you
options that comes to
Okay.
you.
Some
deal
ladies
with as
get
a
a
lady.
lot of options. But some ladies
Just
get
like 2,
few
3, 4
options.
options.
And
So
they have
it's
to
what
be
the options that
different.
come to you that you deal with. So if you are saying a girl, whoever sleeps with a girl is dependent on
She will
the
still
girl.
decide that.
Listen, she should still
But the
listen.
long
There is a lot of decision in the, even in I'm talking of both long term and short term. Whoever a girl sleeps with, whoever a girl decides to sleep with, is dependent on the people, the number of people that comes to her. If it's only one person that comes to her all her life, and at the end of the day, she's going to sleep with the person, that one person.
I think guys it on girls a lot too much.
Calm down. Now, if a lot of guys are coming to her, she's seen a lot of ice cream flavors being dished out to her. She say, okay, I want the chocolate flavor, or I want the vanilla flavor. Whatever flavor you want, you pick it. Now, for the guys now, they see all the flavor. They can pick anyone that they want.
Not necessarily. You need
Yeah.
some things to be able
Listen, you would decide when you see, okay, this one looks like it's going to give a tough time, or you started approaching the flavor and see that it's giving a kind of pungent smell. That makes the person too stubborn or something. You know what? Now you move to the next flavor. Oh, you don't look attractive enough. You pick the next flavor and all that. That is how you work for guys in the ice. And where I got the ice cream analogy from is Friends season 1. So you can watch season 1. So the thing is that is how it is for guys. So you even in the decision of getting a wife, you get to look for the wife. The wife that you pick at the end of the day chose you because you were one of the options that came to her. So even the same thing for sleeping with, you get to sleep with any girl that you saw and you decide to take interest in. The girl sleeps with you.
I think I would also get a guy. Also get a guy from a
look
guy
at
from
this.
that.
When
Not
on
all
Twitter,
guys
what was
can
on
get
Twitter
up.
yesterday?
But
It's not like you can just walk up.
You can't like
that is why that's the ice cream
But
shop,
still-
man. You can see some flavors. Oh my god, this flavor is too daunting for me. Nah, let's forget it.
Yes, but you can also end up not being able to eat
Look at
flavor.
this
By the time that they are allergic to
This
flavor.
new life.
But you see, you were able to pick the flavor you wanted.
No, I get what you're saying, but I also get
Look
what
at
you're
this
saying.
analogy
It's a
now.
two-legged coin. Like,
Look
one
at this
side
analogy
fits another.
on Twitter.
No.
Did you see Shola's tweet? Where he told girls, Shola told girls to message their best friends and guys that
Yeah,
something.
besties.
And most of these guys want to smash.
Yeah, you want to fuck them.
But many people won't actually tell you they want to smash. That's something about guys. Many of us are not, won't be direct that just want to smash. You see guys just hanging around, they won't ever hint it at all that I want to smash. Like, at least in a way you should hint it. So these guys will be best friends for these girls for many
Besties.
years.
Let's use the word.
For many years. And once they give them this small flash of
Interest.
not even interest, you just need
Green
not even
light.
that
Just the green light.
just
The green light, I understand.
the guys will jump at it.
Yeah.
It shows that
And increase
if girls
the
take action, no, most of the guys out here, in all honesty, they don't smash. That Shola's tweet was an example,
Yeah.
prime example
Very
of that.
prime, yeah.
People,
But the whole smashing thing is just not limited to guys. Even girls too want to
That's
smash.
it.
So
Same.
yes, I'm
When
saying,
When you
but
best-
girls,
when
It's
you
girls,
basically
best
just
friend, the
about
girl-
a
how-
girl shot
Stop.
them would have picked who she wants.
Because there are some guys that they just keep a particular girl because they know they will never be attracted to
To
that
her.
kind of girl.
And
And then it's that
that
she lady says
That
that
happens
this
too.
girl does not have bum bum. I will never look at her 2 times. And they are besties. So I don't know.
And the girl is
will be fine.
attracted.
And she'll be like,
And the girl will still be attracted to the guy.
So if
Okay, for
there's
a windows
instances that
that
actually happens, I know it happens more in women, but there are many instances that actually happen in men that people seem to forget.
It can be just,
Well, you know,
they can be friends.
especially during a phase,
They
guys
can be
don't even
friends.
care. They just smash. You know? They don't care about, like, they might just be seeking novelty in the sense that, okay, I don't need something short, something tall, big, skinny, like, you get. So
Nah.
until they pass through.
Most
Guys,
most people don't have taste.
Are you sure?
Like that. Yeah, most
Are you
people, especially for guys, they go into anything as long as it has a hole, they start digging.
not exactly, not exactly.
Except for guys that don't have guts.
No, not
Those
exactly.
guys.
Because guys might just want to. That's what I'm talking about novelty. You might not really understand. You might see this girl that is very thick. You might see this girl that is skinny now. You might see a girl that is short. You might see a girl that is
Exactly.
tall. They just want to, like, try things out.
That's explorative state now. As long as it has a hole, you want to explore.
But it doesn't necessarily mean they like.
Yeah, it doesn't. That's what I'm
No,
saying.
nobody's talking about liking.
Nobody's talking about liking here. It's just like an oil well that I want to, an oil like producing area that I want to explore
So
and see what it
that's
will bring out
just
for you.
that face.
You say oil.
And that's why the best is to.
What are you expecting?
No, you want to see how much oil it produces. It's going to
No, you
produce
still
oil.
need to bring out oil.
Yeah, it's going to bring out oil, but you want to see how much
But
oil.
it's still oil.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
definitely.
Every time the oil is popping out.
A lot of the oil.
Okay, the next one. In this present day generation now, like, do you feel, based on different things that happen online, do you feel men are at risk of empowering certain things? Like, let's say, like, what's the name of that guy that died, that killed himself because of maybe false accusations? That
Forgotten tea or what?
yeah, like, because many things happen sometimes that even some of us, me, I'm even guilty of it. I just jump on the bandwagon, I don't calm down. But now, I've actually changed to, like, for the past 2 years now. I don't, if you tell me something, I just listen and try to comfort you and everything. I still don't draw conclusions. In a case where someone's life is on the line, or someone can go to jail, or you can mess up someone's career.
I don't understand that.
Okay,
You understand what I'm
situations
saying?
like rape or
Exactly.
sexual
And
when
false-
you're accusing
and
a
false
guy of
accusations
something,
too.
Yeah.
or it might not even be, might not even be as serious as rape. It might be a situation of sexual assault and all that. We see situations like a lot of things have been coming out in the open these days. Where you see situations where I read one recently, mind-boggling. Two daughters accused their fathers of raping them when their mother was away, and then the mother came back, and then the father was like, he didn't do that, but the mother could not believe, like, she had to take the side of her daughters over the father, only to find out years after that the daughters were lying.
The man went to jail for like 20
The
years.
daughters were lying.
That's why
The
I
mother
feel
didn't do
like
anything.
we
So
should
situations like
So
that,
what's the question there?
where we are more likely to jump to.
Do you feel
But
like
situation
men
is
are at
a
risk?
woman's
Men are at
defense.
risk. Look at Johnny Depp and Amber. What's her name?
Amber
Heard. I was still watching the live stream in court just yesterday. I was in my room just watching while I was doing other things, and they got receipts on their chats. Like, the girl will piss him off, and Johnny Depp is just like, I just want to leave. He knows he has much at stake because of his career.
Because of
He just wants to leave.
yeah.
Then the girl will now hold him like, don't leave. And when he leaves, she starts texting like, please come back, this and that, and all of that. Like, send a whole bunch of texts. And guess what she said in the court? Like, the reason why she was begging him the voice recordings and everything that to come back is that she doesn't want him to go and use drugs. Like, he's always abusing drugs.
Yeah,
Not
he
the-
used to go to, he's checking out of rehab most times.
like she doesn't want him that maybe because of something, an issue they had,
For
she
him to go and
wants-
use drugs.
for him to go and use drugs every time, and she's always,
She should have been sensitive not to provoke that move. How about
and most times it's just this kind of person that there was even a point that they recorded the phone call that was like, he's going to see Lily, the daughter, and she was still trying to stop him, and he had to even call a third party to, like, you know, and because in that kind of case now, she even faked pictures.
Yeah, she faked
She faked pictures,
and bruises.
bruises and stuff. Like, maybe the guy is leaving now. In the audio, he pushed, like, just get out. Like, he was not pushing her to, like, maybe push her to fall or hit her head or something. He was just trying to, like, okay, let me leave. I want to remove myself from this environment right now. And everything was reframed, and now he lost a lot of paychecks and everything. So in that kind of case now, do you feel like men are at risk for empowering certain things? And because even women do it to our fellow men. Many men that if they are accused of anything, just jump to conclusion and attack the guy. Until of recent, I think even on Twitter.
Yeah, most people are looking at both sides now to see.
So I feel like, do we all feel like sometimes men could be at risk of always putting women ahead of ourselves?
Yes, because women, the society is beginning to make women. That's why I can relate to those unreasonable feminism, whatever that is going on now. Women are taking advantage of what the society is displaying to them, the favors the society is handing out to them actually. So they are taking advantage of that, and they are becoming more and more manipulative, that they know that society will always side them. Because now, you know what they are doing now? They are saying women is you know they say women are weak.
Bad women.
Okay, let's say bad women. Now, some of these women, they are using two mechanisms now. They are using the women as the weaker vessels to paint their victim side, and now they are now using the feminism whatever or fight for women, movement for women rights to project that their victimization to the victimization they created for themselves. They are projecting it to the world so that the world will see it and want to fight for them at the detriment of those men. At the detriment of the men. And the thing is, it's funny enough, the world will. And sincerely, that's why I said I appreciate the fact that guys are not really pushing some kind of weird movement. Like, they're not pushing movements that, hey, we are going against women, blah, blah, blah. Check it out. Apostle Selma said something that it's not easy to be a man. Not easy to be a man. That is why the prisons are full of them. Men, whether we like it or not, are saddled with a lot of responsibilities. I'm not trying to undermine women. They are saddled with a lot of responsibility, key responsibility, and a man needs peace most times for him to carry it out. And most times the peace is dependent on that woman around him. Now that woman around him, your job, one of your major job, for those that believe in the Bible, one of your major job is to be a helpmeet. You should be a helpmeet. Meaning the help you are offering out should align with the goal of that guy. Right? Now, and in the Bible setting, the man is supposed to, feed you, give you everything you want, and push you to, so that you two should also get to whatever level that you desire to get to as a woman. So as a man needs that peace, and most women are not seeing it. A lot of bad women, like you said, are feeling unnecessarily entitled. How do you be feeling entitled to what? Because okay, society has deemed it fit that you should have a seat at the table, you should have a say, and then you are becoming manipulative about that. Come on, this lady, everybody sees her on the red carpet with her husband, supportive wife. When she's in rehab, I follow a lot of celebrities while I was growing up. When the guy is in rehab, she's there being supportive, and this is her now cooking up horrid things that even cost the guy his image in Hollywood can ruin your life. Literally ruins the guy's life in Hollywood. And nobody knows.
It's not even on the offensive. He still laughs in court with that.
And nobody knows. To the extent that Johnny Depp's name, if not for the Jack Sparrow role he took in the Pirates of the Caribbean, this guy's name, Johnny Depp's name was kind of like fading.
That's
They removed him from
almost
the Fantastic Beasts series.
Yeah.
They replaced him with a different actor.
So imagine.
And she didn't lose her role despite all the bad things.
Imagine all that. And funny enough, like he said, she didn't lose her role. At the end of the day, despite the punishment meted out, society will still come and conclude that she's still a woman. Even if they sentence her or do whatever, she's still a woman factor will still be there. She will still plead that femininity in court. So my own for women is if you really value if you really value the importance, if you really value your importance of the society,
so that's how I see it.
if you really value your importance, balance in the society, and you don't want to start painting other women in listen, if you don't want to paint other women in bad light, and you don't want to create problems for generations to come, I think the best thing for we women to do now is let's get our act right. Let us know what we are fighting for. Like I said, know what you are fighting for, and don't come and start projecting this victimization thing. Don't project. If you are a victim, please come out and tell us you're a victim.
Yeah, so
when you are not a victim, don't come and use women. A man is preying on you as a weaker vessel. Don't use that outside, because by the time it gets out, you're already killing what a lot of women have been fighting for over the years. Don't come and kill it.
I think I'll just agree with that message that sincerely, like, women out there should just be careful of what they are coming out to say. Don't come out and preach falsehood.
Thank you.
You are breaking down years and years of
how people actually suffer through actual actual violence, gender-based violence, actual
making their stories harder to believe.
Exactly. Don't not looking like cloud. Because I actually saw somewhere, particular this thing said that even if Johnny Depp wins, a lot of people are afraid that now, even though he's innocent and he wins, people are afraid that what happens to people, what happens to women that actually go through this kind of thing? What would they have to face? What will people say?
They go to court now.
It's not how many people have the luxury of courts.
And then keep your mouth shut.
Wow. So if somebody is not saying that,
no, the thing is that the world is actually messed up. There are many guys too that go through that.
No, guys should go through. That's what we're telling most women now. We're telling you, we're saying that those that are wrong should not ruin what. Listen, the world is not fair. No, Iyamu should understand that the world is not fair. Iyamu should understand that the world is not fair. The world is not fair to men. That is why they are saddled with so much responsibility that they can handle, and they need calmness around them to work. And the world is not fair to women. That is why women don't get all they want. That's why they are fighting. That's why there's feminism. So the world is not fair to anybody.
It's not guys are not getting everything they want.
Oh my!
They are not getting everything they want.
Listen, I'm not saying guys get everything. I said listen.
Should I give you?
Do you see that I didn't make any comparison? He is making it. I did not listen. I did not make any comparison. I said for guys are saddled. Hello, guys are saddled. Guys are saddled with responsibility. Why women are looking for representation. So if the sexual harassment issue, we just take what we have. That is what you literally said, man.
No. I think it's coming from a different perspective. We are
talking about the issue of abuse. You are saying something else.
We are looking at serious cases
with
we're not just talking about people.
I'm talking about issues of
having their own
abuse and sexual harassment. On an average, I kid you not, as a female, I get a lot of guys randomly touching you with people you don't know without consent. People holding you bro. I don't. It's not if you're my friend, we know each other. Okay.
Strangers on the street.
Strangers on the street. I saw every day. I don't know just for what, but people will say maybe you are trying to show off. There's nothing great about it. You enter a bike and this bike comes like, fine, girl, auntie, come now. They hold you. I'm like, get your hands off me. Another person, auntie, your own service. So the day I entered boat. This guy saw a man, an older man. His bike man was going, so I was trying to enter a boat to go. So he said, enter bike, but I didn't answer the guy. As I just entered into the boat, also now because of your sugar daddy, you know one answer me. Imagine that kind of thing. I was like, I'm paying for this video that is here, John. What are you talking about? So imagine that kind of thing. We literally go through that every day. And I feel you have to even look, even the least attractive person has to deal with people.
The world is not fair.
That's something about sexual harassment kind of thing. So what do you now say that we should just it's part of being a woman.
The world is not fair. So there are some things we can lay down and take. There are some things we can just let's manage it. I think that's where Ian is coming from. But it's not everything that
is a lot
more. It's not just a lot about it. Just handle your shit.
You have male coming on to you and you have to be afraid.
Men put up everything and they just toss it at the back of their mind and compartmentalize and forget.
I don't think men put up everything.
Honestly,
it's not on the same level because it may happen for females, but once men go through it, they think about different things like, how do I come out and say it? How do I say it? Like, people make fun of you.
Yeah, it's true. When men actually go through sexual harassment, they find it hard to.
Because
not just people, men, they are
damaging
for
men.
Them.
And it's damaging. I've had a lot of guys open up to me about them being sexually harassed
when you are younger. Even it's the females that
Take
charge
issue
of
of
raising
Graceland that
them.
happened recently. Take that one for instance. The guy came out and was like the girl was raped. Not knowing that video came out and eventually they noticed that the girl was even the one that initiated the whole thing.
That's what we are saying. That for
So-
people like that, that is why I'm dropping the message. That is have you been listening to this conversation? I say that the bad egg should not ruin the good. Don't come and ruin what even men are supporting women to build. Don't come and ruin it with your portraying as the weaker vessel. After portraying your weaker vessel, then you now come out and hide under the feminist whatever, feminist battle. Exactly. To come and fight your stupid manipulative battles. That's what we're saying. We're not supporting the bad. We're not supporting women the bad ruin the good.
Okay.
That
So,
kind of thing.
let's just end
And
it.
everybody can-
We've been here for long, so let's end it
Please
on
make
this
this video is going to be in parts because nobody's going to see
Yeah,
our video.
So let's just end it in parts. What do you feel? I'll start from here. What do you feel should be like? Okay, what do you envision as the ideal like we're in 21st century? Yeah. 21st century like woman like we are no longer in the olden
no
ice age.
historic
Like
yeah.
what do you envision as okay? This is what you want. No
Yeah, ideal
old standard,
21st
no old standard or anything like that. What do you see as okay?
Looking at
The new standard now. You want someone that can work. You want someone that okay, you just give her everything she wants. You just want her to. What do you like? What do you envision as?
for an ideal woman.
An ideal woman.
Okay, the way I wrote it down. Maybe I should read it how I wrote it down.
Okay.
What would you envision as the ideal man? This is to females, with the end goal of feminism as far as educating men and dismantling the patriarchy. And for a guy now, the question would go like, how do I phrase this?
What
What would you envision as
ideal woman?
the ideal woman, like with the goal of all this equality and all of that, and dismantling old standards, and also not necessarily accepting the toxic ones that are coming forth?
Not accepting, there's no necessity there. Not accepting consequence. We don't want toxicity here.
Exactly. Like that behind me, Satan.
Okay, let me see. First, I will make this point that we can't be the same. Yeah, there are some things that ladies want that, let me see, they can't necessarily get.
And what do you like? What would you just not? I'm not saying you should just model your own ideal woman, but there are just some little things. Maybe that has to do with working. That has to do with someone being family oriented and all of that. Like,
Still find it difficult to understand the question. Maybe probably someone else should answer.
okay, maybe someone that understands the question should
Try and answer.
Okay, personally, if I would say my ideal man in relation to feminism, the end goal of patriarchy and everything, for me, the ideal man would be a man that understands, that allows his woman to be who she wants to be. You understand? That allows his woman to be who she wants to be. There are women that I've met who don't actually want to work.
Yeah.
Not because they are lazy. They want to be housewives. That is what they want. So they just want to, the way their mothers were, they want to have a shop or a mall and take care of the home. No, sincerely, take care of the home and all that. So for me, the ideal man would be the man that would get to understand that, okay, this is the kind of woman I have. If you want to, that is the problem I feel we are having in our society. If you want to marry a working woman, marry a working woman. But not that a working woman will come with certain situations.
Yeah.
Like for instance, you expect a working woman to come home and then she's cooking panadian for you. It will not
It's going
happen.
to happen.
and
Yeah.
not
It
expect
cannot.
that to
So,
stop except you
know the kind
sponsor
of
the
yeah,
lifestyle.
exactly. Know the kind of woman you want to marry. Allow her to be the woman you met her as. The way you met a woman that she's working. Don't come and start modeling her to be what she doesn't want to be. She will end up dissatisfied, angry with you, angry with society, angry with her life. So my ideal man will be a man that allows his woman to be who she wants to be, and he supports her in whatever she has decided she wants to be, how she wants to model her life. Now this is in relation to feminism, patriarchy, and all that. That will be my ideal man in this 21st century. Okay.
Jasmine.
I would say my ideal man, kind of what she said, but my own in the form of
allows a woman to evolve and to understand an evolution. Like the person I am today, 10 years time, I may not have the same, I may not agree with the same thing I've said now. But it takes a kind of understanding on both parts to let yourself know that, okay, I'm going to evolve in this kind of person. Today, I might decide, okay, I like how things are small. 10 years time, I might realize, okay, it's too small for me, I want to. So let's be somebody that allows you to grow and you can both grow with and understand it.
No, it's true.
Because I cannot tell what I want now is not what 40-year-old me would want. And I cannot speak for her. And she cannot, it's okay, she might know what I've gone through.
Yeah.
So, we let people evolve. But also, I'm not saying that it should be a total moral initiation, like it should be stupid. Okay, but let people evolve. That's my own belief. Because things change, people change, but do not let that blindside you or that kind of thing. So that's just why.
Lovely. So, Abba.
I feel the ideal woman should be. Actually, there are different kinds of people.
Yes.
There are different kinds of people, and you have to
Understand exactly.
The person won't definitely match all your.
Oh, exactly. That's true.
But
That's true.
what you just feel like, based on the new.
Yeah, what is going on in the society,
Exactly.
given in the society right now, stance, feminism, everything.
All the advocacy and
Yeah, everything.
Okay, what's the ideal woman should be like?
Yeah,
What I feel, what I will choose, what I will go for. I feel the ideal.
it could just be a word or two.
Why is it hard for
I
you
feel
to
it's hard
say?
for.
Are we this kind of like
You don't want them to get you and use it against you, Abi.
Can't
You don't want them to get it and use it against you. Like,
No,
model
it doesn't-
yourself.
Listen, it doesn't mean, you know what, just say it and put, tomorrow it might change.
That's the thing.
You can make it.
The person I am today, I can see some things tomorrow and
Exactly.
change.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's what I agree with that.
That's what I said. That people
So-
evolve.
Okay,
Can I say one person?
I love this
Okay,
quote from
how
one
about-
particular guy that said that the only person that actually judges him with who he is in the present day is his tailor. That everybody sees him like who he was yesterday. But if you go to your tailor every day,
They always measure you.
he will measure you again and weigh you according to who
Yeah,
you are in the
yeah,
moment.
yeah.
And that's how it should be for
Okay.
everyone. You should
Okay,
not
so
just-
in the moment, how about you tell us in the moment right now, today,
How do you feel?
how do you feel, man?
or it's just about the bunda.
Oh, yeah, it could be.
It could be because there are sometimes that let the there are
I
guys
don't know
that
what I
met.
cares about the physical look, how about that?
There are guys that met. They don't care about anything. They just want like
Look
trophy
for me,
wife.
baby.
Exactly. Yes, I know.
That they will give her a spoiler till she dies.
Yes, I've seen someone like that.
And they don't want her to do anything. They will even be
My
very
real
mad.
shows on my woman.
Yeah, my woman chose on my woman. Like,
So,
have you
because-
seen my wife? Have you seen her poor? Have you seen my wife?
So it's all very sharp. But if we can't come to any conclusion, maybe I'll just speak for the guys.
Okay, let me do mine. So for my ideal man would be somebody that is supportive and futuristic. Yeah, supportive in the sense that I'm going to be a supportive wife. So I think it's reciprocal. I have to be supportive.
Yes.
So if I want to do something, as long as it is not morally wrong and it doesn't stand against regular values and it is not going to be detrimental to all the parties involved, please support me. If I say I want to go to the ends of the world, and I think most people, when you are married, everybody should realize at that point that your life is not like 100% yours. You have a husband and a kid to think about. So if the decision I'm making that let's go, I want to go to the ends of the world, that is my own dream, you should be supportive as long as, because I don't think I want to do anything that will jeopardize my family at that point. I chose to have a family. So I don't think I'll do anything to do. And futuristic in the sense that, like she said, the me now is not the me. So it's not the me you would see in 10 years.
The one you're
So-
even envisioning.
So do not
I might not even end up being the one
that,
that
so that's it.
Exactly.
So do not begin to build me for one. If you have a political obviously before we get married, if you have a political career, I should be able to fit into that political career ideology. So don't because tomorrow a political idea or career pops up. So you should be futuristic enough to know that okay, in the future this is what I want, right? Is this lady wanting it to? If she's not wanting it, why don't you let her go? And if fine, you are not futuristic enough and the marriage happens and all that, there should be a place of compromise. There should be a place of compromise.
Emphasis on
And if she said there are a lot of politicians that we know today that whether men or women that their spouses are not in the public eye, their children are not in the public eye. So you should be able to compromise. An ideal man, supportive, futuristic in compromising with some of these things, because we have the future, we don't know what it looks like. We can only have perceptions in our head, but we don't know exactly what it's like. So you have to support me as long as it's not to the detriment of anything. And also you should be able to, well, I'm speaking for myself on this one. I'm somebody that I can be very stubborn sometimes. So whenever I'm stubborn and the stubbornness is detrimental or stupid, I think you should be able to understand how to whip me back to shape. Like, guy, madam, calm down, this is how you do things. Right? I'm not whipping, I'm not talking of violence. Yeah, I'm not talking of violence.
I didn't think of that, I just plugged it like.
So the thing is, you should be able to tell me that this is what I'm doing, what I'm doing is wrong. And talking about the futuristic part, you should also know that the next generation is your offspring, right? They are your offsprings. So you should, for the next generation of people, you should, number one, model the home and whatever you want to be in the society. You should model it, that it is not that the generation will have something concrete to stand on. So support your girl child, make your girl child be educative, and that your son will see it and he will see other women and also want their progress, right? Treat your son with respect, teach your son values. Your daughter would see it, and when she's out with other guys or when she's having her own son tomorrow, she would also want to give them that same value. Even if it's not the same value, she would also want to drop value in them. So be futuristic. Know that the next generation is with you. So if you decide to model nonsense for them, then the next 3,000 and whatever year, the next millennia would also be nonsense that will be seen. So so we should, the man, please have a mindset. The future is now. So the future, that's the children, is now. So whatever you want to see 20 years later when they are adults, 30 years later when they are adults, so that you don't bite your finger, start doing it now. So that's my ideal man, basically.
What I feel from things I've seen around me and people I've interacted with and how their parents' lives modeled and shaped them, I feel like, number one, I won't want to be with someone that I have to almost shout before you understand. If I say it's like 1, 2, 3 times, like, because me, I'm someone that sometimes I actually try to understand people, even if I don't understand them, I might not agree, but I'll just be like,
I understand that part.
But if someone is now saying something that is very valid, and you now decide that I will remain stuck on this view, and it ends up affecting even your children, which should, at a point now, we should be, if you decide to bring people into this world, you should be selfless and realize that they are your primary
goal,
aim, and like everything you should take care of. Don't be necessarily selfish and think of just yourself. Then secondly, the person should obviously have any form of something to keep you busy. I don't care if it's an ambition or a hobby or something, because I've realized that sometimes when the other party is more busy than one party is busier than the other one, there seems to be this balance of the scale doesn't balance, and they don't feel like, so you're always busy.
I do mind with the devil's workshop, so get something doing.
Like you're always busy, and I call now, you're busy. Later, you are busy. So it now feels like, okay,
let's all be busy.
Especially in the maybe early hours of the day, sometimes, like, especially when you have things to do, you should be able to understand that, okay, there's time for everything, and you should understand when someone is busy. And if I'm not busy, there's no reason to form or pretend like you're busy. So I think understanding is the main pattern, not allowing someone have to talk before you understand. Because in our nature states that when you say it over and over, you reach a point that you want to say it. You end up shouting without knowing. Please now.
Like, do these things.
Like, so then the person now gets defensive, like, what's that? I feel just peace, and that's another thing, just peace. Like, I don't want to fight, I don't want to quarrel. Not like I do it well if I want to, but there comes a time that you don't even want any of that. I don't want to communicate easily and understand each other, and that's just the end. I feel every other day we'll just make it work. Yeah. I guess that kills it for this video. The longest video ever.
It has to be in parts because I will sit down and watch something this long. It was quite interesting.
Oh, my back.
So, if anybody has anything they want to promote or anything,
What do you say?
OnlyFans. You know OnlyFans? How about you know OnlyFans?
No, it's not everybody that knows only fans. Like, oh, I think that popular person.
Damn.
Wow.